Hello and welcome to the Breeders' Cup Friday edition special stretch run show. We are here tonight for the final five, or the only five Breeders' Cups races today. We'll have a couple of filler things in between to pass along the time, but we'll really be focusing on the Breeders' Cup races. Our friend Derek here, down there in the bottom right on the screen, he is playing in the Breeders' Cup Betting Challenge. He won his way in on two $200 feeders. I believe you cashed around $8,200 and got a $10,000 seat, Derek, right?
That is correct. Yep.
Okay, that's a great way to start because you're already somewhat ahead, and you've got to play three races today. Mandatory minimums of three. That's $600 a piece. Correct. You can bet any of that or all of it, but you have to bet a minimum of six in those three races. You can't come up short. Ask the guy that did that and made Brad the champion. He ran second because it was a $10,000 penalty. So getting out to Del Mar, Oldie, I believe we have in 12 minutes race 6 coming up. We'll go over that and the 2-day options and everything else we could want here. Just got a text from Justin that says I'm on the 7 and 9. So that's his two top picks here in race number 6. Just a friendly reminder, everybody, we cannot show these races, which I know is disappointing. I may need some help, guys, with sound because I'm on a new rig, and I'm not going to be able to do sound for Aqueduct or Belmont. What's up, Randy? Hello, Chuck. Good to see you too. Sorry your boss man got claimed, but you guys did pretty well with that horse, I think. A win in Saratoga is probably the icing on the cake.
I'd like one of those.
Yeah, wouldn't you? All right, we also have with us David Harrison. How you doing tonight?
Okay, good. How you gentlemen doing? Happy Breeders' Cup Future Stars Day. We got some very competitive races coming up, and I'm really looking forward to it. And the first one is a real challenge because I think we have eight international horses, or 9, and this is, to me, the most inscrutable, difficult race there is on the 2-day card. I mean, it's just I had no idea how to judge these invaders, and so it'll be to get you guys' opinion if anybody's got some ideas here that could help us out or myself out. But this is a race I'll probably just watch and maybe play a few entertainment wagers.
Well, I know who Oldie is on here. Brad Anderson and I went over this race with Oldie on Wednesday night. So I know who he's on. I know who their friend Howard's on, and Bruno as well. But I'm going to let Oldie go because he's got a number here that you might like.
Yeah, so I think everybody's probably tired of hearing me talk about this, but in the 7 times this race has been run, 5 of the winners have been American horses. There's only a couple American horses in this race, and only one that's any good, and that's Governor Sam, the 10 horse for George and his Weaver. And Governor Sam, is a fast horse, but he has won a race not on the lead at 5 furlongs, actually, ironically. But I think there's a good chance because a lot of the speed from the European horses, as well as the Japanese horse, are bad breakers. Good horses, bad breakers. So there's a chance that if Governor Sam can break like he typically does, that he could get a lead that they're not able to run down here. At Del Mar, too, closers at 5 furlongs don't win. Very, very low percentage at 5 furlongs here. So for me, I just, I'm going to play Governor Sam. I'm going to do a little bit of a Caro Sig, and my third choice is Shareholder. So I played I'd say 70% Governor Sam here.
Okay, Oldie, I've got a question related to that. Do you so you see Governor Sam having the most speed here over Shareholder or Big Mojo? Because it looks like those are the three big players early on the EE metrics as far as the pace is concerned. But again, it does to me, looking at the numbers of Governor Sam's last couple of races, this horse is quite fast early. So
in the scouting reports and videos I've watched, Shareholder is notoriously known for being a bad breaker. His bad races have come when he just can't get out of the gate. Big Mojo, I'm told, according to trainer comments, is going to be put in the action late and is not going to be part of the pace scenario.
Okay, yeah, and also again, I thought this. I'm looking at some of these invaders. You got the 7 Whistle Jacket. You got the 8 Ekoro C from Japan. That's only had 2 starts. Shareholders only had 3, and you're right. He's had 2 dwelt starts. So if Governor Sam does get out on the lead, it could be really tough to run down. And it's only 5. It's not 5.5. Right. So there's so many times, even at Gulfstream, Delmar, you see these 5. It's over. You gets a 2 or 3. The horse who gets a 2 or 3 length lead coming out of the gate, hits the far turn with a lead, doesn't get caught. The other horse that I was looking to get an opinion on is a closer, I guess. But I like, if you're going to be a closer in these races, to me, that are wide open, I want the outside post, because you get, normally, with everything else being equal, besides going wide, you got that clear path. You don't have to weave in and out of horses. Sometimes you see these races, they get packed up at the top of the stretch, turning for home. And it's like, who's got the room, who gets the best trip, who gets through of the closers. So I like that outside post. So I think I'm going to give it a little shot here with the 12 Ides of March. I have very little confidence in this race. Anything I would play because of all the international horses coming in. And this is normally a race that I would struggle with and just watch for enjoyment or entertainment purposes. So with your 10, I'm going to use the 12, and probably with the 7, 8. So I need to get the 12 in there somewhere. So I think that's the way I'm going to approach this, for a very, very modest wager on my end.
And if we want, we can run the race sim as well here.
Sure.
Just so Magnum Force is another really slow breaker out of Europe that can close the 4 horse.
And then you've got the 2 Asterius.
Asterius, I'm told, and only like softer turf, and his bad races have all come on good to firm turf.
Okay, it was 4 for 6 lifetime, so it doesn't have too many bad races.
But
right.
Wow. I would take note of the fact, if I were playing an exacta or a try here, that the system has this Arizona Blaze coming late and doing very well. The 5 horse who's the long shot. So if I were playing an exacta or a try here, I'd have to find some place to put Arizona Blaze there as well.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Good deal.
Derek, what about you? And guys, apparently we don't have this up here. Here we go.
So I'm actually exactly what Justin had. I'm on the 7 and the 9. The price on the 9, I think, is really good. And I get they don't break good, but if they do, I don't like. It's one of those things of, I'll take 15 to 1 on if the horse breaks well. So, if the horse breaks well, I think the horse should be in front of Governor Sam. My only issue is Paco is a little more aggressive than William Buick, so that's a little worrisome. But I will say that I think you're with getting 15 to 1 on the 9 is a good play, and I have certain plays with the 9 and the 7 and doubles, exactas, triples for the contest. So.
Yeah, I think the race is wide open. I'm going to just try and get by with just the 8 and then go into a double Dutch to the 4 horses I like in the next. which are 2, 3, 8, and 9.
2, 3, 8, and 9 and next. Okay.
A little heavier on the 8 with 3 and 9 on the double than the 2 and the the 8.
Okay, so I'm looking at the current odds. We have actually the 8. I'm showing the 8 as the 8-5 favorite at this point.
Yes.
All right, so we got the 8. You got a nice price on the 9. That's a not this time shareholder who's projected to be right on the pace. Governor Sam 6-1. Ides of March. I'm going to try to get in there at 12-1 somehow. I'm not crazy about it, but Asterius is 7-1. Big Mojo is 11. So you got some prices on the board. Again, I don't know much about this Japanese horse. I don't want to overreact and say, okay, my first reaction is the 8 is over bet. But in a race like this, everything else being equal, I want no part of 8-5. So I would probably fade that horse. But yeah, we'll see. It's an interesting, wide open head scratcher, in my opinion. I have much more solid opinions on some of the other races coming up. But the way I approach Breeders' Cup Day is I'm trying to extract or weed out some long shots or some live horses who might be huge prices to hit the board in some exotics. I mean, I'm looking for 20 to 30, 40-1 shots possibly to run in the money. So see if I can weed out some of those later on.
Well, I'm going to use your Ides of March. I'm going to use your Governor Sam. I'm going to use shareholder Whistlejack. Let's see if I can get something alive to Lake Victoria in a pick 3.
And who's going to do the audio? It won't work because of my headset with me.
I can do it. Let me see.
Okay. I know you and Dave are going to be on similar time frames just in terms of that. Almost 3 million in the pick 5 pool.
Strong.
And we have in the exacta pool, we currently have 1 million and about 500,000 in the tri pool.
A lot of money being wagered today.
Money. I actually expected the Japanese horse to be even lower odds than this, just based on what we were hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know there's a few people that are going to make a large wager on that horse.
On the 8 horse.
Yeah.
Well, I will guarantee you it's not going to be me.
No,
So,
not me either.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Gary, I played 2 versions of pick 5s. Let me see if I can backtrack to them on here. I know at least one of them will come up.
David, if anybody has the link to the leaderboard too, it would be helpful to have it.
Yeah,
okay. I'm sure if I can.
This was my B ticket.
Here's the tickets.
On the pick 5, and my A ticket singled Governor Sam here and filled in the 3, 4. I gotta look. Give me a sec. You would think I would have that in my head here. 3, 4, 8, 10.
We are getting closer to the post. Derek will have the audio of Larry Coleman's calling it. And we'll see who gets this one done. I'm very curious to see how this race is going to unfold and turn out. I think you can make a lot of cases. The 2 and the 3, the inside posts are kind of good here. I think for these kind of races, I get it that if you want to close, it's from the outside. Well, it's a big ask. I mean, it's really the 11, but
right now we're about to start.
Chris, I just sent you the link on your cell.
oh, sweet. I will get that up here.
Oh,
Is this good? Can you guys hear?
Larry Comas. All right,
Yes.
let's get the party started. The Juvenile Turf field has reached the starting gate. The Coro Sieg has moved into line, as is Asterius. Here comes Shareholder. Moving into line along with Big Mojo.
It's Larry Comas on the mic, huh?
Yeah.
Magnum
Good old Larry.
Wow, the leader's already up to 43,000.
Arizona
Really?
Blaze will be
Yeah.
next.
Yep.
I'm nowhere near that.
8 to wire.
It's a marathon and not a sprint, Derek. Just keep your
Eh,
pace. And
As
fire
long as you're
away.
not 43,000 down, you're in good shape.
Right. And there's 594 entrants, so you got plenty of people and plenty of time to make your play. All right, good luck, everybody. Start it off good.
Shikamura up to the outside stall to complete the field here. Hallie Kitten stepping up. Goes in. And they're all in line. They're off in the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint. And it is Governor Sam who goes out to the early lead. Shareholder is away running on second, and Coro Sieg is in behind traffic early on there. He's going to have to steady in mid-pack. He's in a little bit of trouble in the early stages as Paco Lopez and Governor Sam take the lead. Asterius is second, Big Mojo is third, Jet Sweet Joe fourth on the outside. Arizona Blaze and Shareholder have a Coro Sieg between those two. Then comes Magnum Force, Gate to Wire, Whistle Jacket, Patty Kitten, and last of them all is Ides of March. It's Governor Sam on the inside, Jet Sweet Joe right up alongside. The two of them will turn for home together. Governor Sam on the inside. Long shot, Jet Sweet Joe a link behind. Asterius comes off the rail. Big Mojo, Magnum Force, not today for a Coral Sieg. Governor Sam to catch Magnum Force coming with the run.
They're going to get him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here's a wire. Magnum Force has done it. And then it was Arizona Blaze.
4-5.
By Big Mojo.
Magnum Force over Arizona Blaze, two closers. It just collapsed late, very late.
Almost got it.
Juvenile Turf Sprint. Magnum Force taking off like a bullet down the stretch.
Wow, what a close.
Yeah. That's a tough one for you, Oldie, for sure.
Just enough of that cheap speed from the 6.
Yeah, the rank outsider puts pressure on and probably ruins it for the 10, because without that pressure, Oldie, I think he may have had enough to just hold off the rest of the pack there. But it was a rather fast. Actually, if you look at the fractions, 21 and 344 and change. It's not blazing fast for 5, but it's contentious. It was contentious.
Yeah, they were still moving.
Yeah.
When he kicked away here, I thought that.
Yeah, I thought you were home.
He looked over there and he knew he had to go then.
And the Ford just got the trip. He got the perfect trip. Saved all the ground, angled out. I thought he was going up the rail, but he did make the right move by angling out there.
Yes.
And the race sim had that 5 coming late and finishing second, so it did nail that part for sure.
Right. We got 12-1 over 25-1. Hey-oh, we're going to have a nice exacta. And there's a photo. I don't know if the 10 even held on for third. I think you might have had another good price horse in third. So you're going to have a monster triple here. That's going to see if that cracks, blows up anything on the board in the BCBC.
7 broke slow, 8 broke. I mean,
I don't think anybody in the chat had that one either. Magnum Force.
I mean, I had it as a use underneath. So this is what my note said on Magnum Force. It was Magnum Force, slow breaker, likely closer, maybe use underneath.
Arizona Blaze. Who finished third?
Still not posted.
I think it might have been 3.
I'm going to take a look at that replay and I'm going to eyeball it. And
Right now,
4, 5. It looks like it's either the 3 or the 10.
I think the 10 hangs
It's the
on.
three.
It looks
but I'm
like the
not sure.
3. It looks like the 3. The only it's either 3 or the 10. But to my eye, looked at, I thought it was the 3. If that's the case, you've got a 12-1 over 25-1 over 9-1. You're going to have a very hefty, healthy
David?
triple.
Do you have the race call going on in the background?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, let me cut that.
Yeah, they'll pick it up and then we'll get an email. We get an email about every show. And I don't know why. 4510 says Alan.
Oh, the 10. Okay. It's
Oh,
still on my screen. It still
that-
says photo.
Yeah, mine still says photo. Maybe it's a dead heat. I do think on the replay it looked like the 3, but the fact that it's taking this long,
Yeah. That might indicate that it could be a dead.
it was the 10.
Was the 10?
So,
Okay. That is a
I
big-
had also played that as my Twin Spires $25 money back there, and I needed second or third. So if I didn't win, to at least get the money back. So I'll take that.
That's
for now.
good. That works.
Still not as good as actually winning the race.
Well, that destroyed my turf pick 3. So we will move on from that. All right, 32 minutes, guys, until the next one. We do have a Churchill race coming up here in 5 minutes. If you'd are so inclined to take a look at.
Sure.
9th race at Churchill Downs. 16,000 claimer, 9 wins and 2 lifetime. I'll take a quick look at it.
Top pick, or your second pick in your top win percentage. Looks like also top pace, 1 for 12 lifetime. Looks like this horse just hits the brakes when it comes around the turn. Or either that or hits the eject button, whichever term you prefer.
But it seems like it's always been 2 turns, always 8. It's cutting back. I mean, I'm not saying I would take the horse yet, but
The 8 is this top pick, and it gets the one right at the end. 13 has a arrow forward rewire. But yeah, man, you got to go back pretty far to find these horses' last race win. I mean, the 11 Prince Money.
doesn't print money.
I don't think so. I think it actually sheds money.
Well, he is dropping down a bit off of the second race off a layoff.
Mhm.
Has 1 race over the Churchill Strip. And what odds is 2-1? Yeah, the 2-1 makes sense, but I'd be looking for a little better of a price here. Artwell's logical.
Sesame Streak. Off
I
of
mean,
Mid-
Sesame's, that's a low quality maiden, though.
And the 9, El Gunner had an awful trip, it looks like, the last race out of the gate. Off slow and just totally throw that race out. So that 9 is dropping from a 30,000. 9 was a 2 lifetime to its lowest level yet.
Yeah, I mean, I could see this 9.
Twirling. That's
Twirling.
an interesting name for a horse.
Let's see. So what
Trolley.
about
Twirling Trolley, I guess. Sesame Street. Another drop down off a win. Actually, not a drop down. Maiden 12.5. So he's moving up.
yeah?
Got the 2 Vigorous.
I was just looking at that, but I mean, definitely dropping and has but you haven't seen anything good since the first race in 2022. But you're getting a price. You're getting 32-1. I probably, if I'm betting anything in this race, I might actually take that horse.
Can I book that for you?
Yeah, you give me
Looks
30
like this to me. It looks like this horse just can't run. I mean,
Yeah, I agree.
You could take. You want to give me 32-1?
I'm thinking 189 exacta.
I like the Dolly Parton 9 and the 5.
What a way to make a living.
12 scratched. I'm trying to make a crazy long shot here. I don't see anything that really.
2 was
I
just gelded on the 2.
think they need. I think they need to do more than geld that horse to get it going.
Okay, fair enough.
But we'll see. And Lasix on.
The 1 and 8 are both just gelded also. So maybe that will help the 1.
At 7, I think what I would do here, if I'm forced to play the race and make a pick, I will do that anyway, just for the fun of it. And I think I'd land on Artwell. I like when this is a stretch out for a lot of these horses to 7. They probably don't want to go 7. So I usually look for a horse that's cutting back, and Mr. McGregor is a cutback. But I'll try the 8. I would just play the 8 straight here. I think it's too wide open.
Straight 8.
If I'm going to key something, I want to key the 8 on top here. Artwell. It dumped into a 6, but actually raced at 12.5. This horse is, even though it's been racing a little lower, 12.5 at Indiana, then off on a turf, then off the turf on a sloppy track. Now it gets a dry track. Cuts back to 7, and seems to be more consistent, has more consistent form at this level than some of the others. So I would be on the 8 here, Artwell.
8 Artwell. And I'm going to play that exact, I think.
I'm on the 9. 9 to win. I'll pair that 9 up with your horse, David.
Okay.
And if I did like a $6 try, that includes the 2. And they're off.
So you will not get that in time.
I already got it in. Race
1 did not get the lead.
Nope. 5 is battling with the 7.
5 and the 7.
The 11 stalking on the outside.
And the
My
8 is in its customary position to finish 2nd, I think.
Okay.
And the 13.
11 and 13. It's pretty much anybody's go. The 9's coming.
It's like a synthetic race at Gulfstream.
Yeah, it doesn't. All stacking up on the front end here. They turn for home.
The 8, the 6 maybe is going to.
Oh, they're bumping on the outside. He's squeezing that 6.
How's my 2 doing?
Well, the 1 doesn't look like he's going to stop today. It may look like the 8 is a million wide, and he may get up for 2nd.
It's going to be 1, 8,
11, 7, 6.
1, 8, 11. Okay, logical finish.
There was a lot of action in the stretch there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Actually, that was that they posted the 7 for a second there, and not the 1. Was it I think it was the 1 though.
The 1 finished first, right?
Yeah, the 7's in.
Yeah, the 7 right now. Watching the replay, he's fading right now to 4th.
7.
Yeah, they literally had the 7 up there in first a second ago, and then they took it down.
Yeah, 1, 8, 11, 7.
All right, David, you were right with Mr. McGregor. You just didn't like the price.
Right.
Can't say I blame you. All right, back over to Del Mar.
23 minutes.
I believe, Oldie, there is the 2-day double coming up?
There's the Juvenile Fillies to the Distaff double here.
Correct. So what do we have in that pool at the moment? Just 90,000 in there. We got 23 minutes to go. So it'll be a little bit hard to figure things out. But this next race goes into Torpedo Anna, right?
Yes, this would go into the Torpedo.
The 2-day
Anna
double,
race.
correct.
Yeah. So if you look at some of the prices you're getting to Torpedo Anna, the current favorite would be the 3 in this race, Immersive, over Torpedo Anna is paying 5 to 1. The 9 American Bikini is 6 to 1, and the 10 Scottish Lassie is 8 to 1. Even though,
So, my thoughts here. I really thought that Lacara and Immersive were the plays here. Lacara has 4 straight 4-star works.
Yep.
For Mark Casse. Casse's won this race before in the past. The horse seems like that they have multiple options, and if they can't get the lead, it's not going to be the end of the world. And then I'm probably going to play a Immersive Lacara exacta here as well, and I might play a try to Mina Shako, the other Japanese horse here.
that's easy for you to say.
Was it? Because it didn't sound like it was easy for me to say.
American Bikini is much easier to say. So
Yes.
Yeah, for
the
sure.
other Japanese horse.
And
David, I know you like a price horse here, right?
Yeah, and I have to tell you, I'm somewhat enthusiastic about the price on this horse, because I think this horse is being totally overlooked. And when I see 20 to 1, when I thought I was going to get 12 to 1, between 12 and 15, obviously we've got plenty of time before post time, but I'm going to get a solid price on this horse. And the horse that I am trying to make here, and again, my strategy here in these races, I do really like this race. It's a dirt race. It's more up my alley than those turf sprints. The horse that I watched, I watched the replay of her race, and that's the 2 Snow White. Okay, if you look at the Frizette on October 5th, this horse, she drew the inside post and had put blinkers on for the race and was better off as the favorite in a 7-horse field. Now, Joel Rosario, it looked like all indications were that Joel and the horse drawing the rail was going to go for the lead. So when they got out of the gate and Joel didn't seem to be in any rush to try to get that lead, I thought that put her in a little bit of trouble. And she didn't have the greatest trip. And then she had to swing out from the rail. I watched that replay a couple of times, and I'm convinced that if Snow White got off a little better in that race and was stalking and maintained that rail position and right up on the engine, this horse may have been closer to Scottish Lassie. So I know this horse is a maiden, and maidens very rarely move up to win the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf, Grade 1. I look at this horse's first race going 7, and she gunned out of the gate, and she actually beat Scottish Lassie that day. Now, stretching out to the 2 turns may be a concern, but I think with Luis Saez, this horse, he might just gun her out. And I'm not sure that the 4 wants to go for the lead, and I don't think the 1's going to go. So I'm taking, and Nooney's got a ton of speed, but I think if not first, this horse will be second going into the first turn. I love the workout on October 26th, and I think this horse is being totally overlooked. I know Immersive, Oldie, you love this horse. You love her today. She did win a Grade 1, the Akabadi, on October 4th. Pretty impressive race, but those 3 races, I'm not sure, if we may have seen her best. I don't know if she's improving. If she improves, she's going to win this race. But at 20-1, it's too tempting of a price. And so I'm all over the 2. I will use the 2 with the 3 and the 9. And that's all I want in this race. So we have a combination of 2, 3, 9, and I'm going to put the 2 on top in my major wager. So that's the way I see it.
Major.
All right,
wager.
Dave. That is a very good rundown there. I'm going to use this race to get a little leverage into Torpedo Anna. So if you were looking at that 2-day double, your 2 to Torpedo tomorrow is paying 47-1. So I would find that on your favorite ADW app.
Right. And also one of the other factors here with Snow White is that this horse is a good magic out of Curlin, and the dam is Snowfall out of Warfront. To me, this horse should be able to handle the distance, and it's just a matter of getting the right trip. And I think this horse at this price is just too tempting to hit the board. So that's a horse that I need to get in here, and I think it'll liven the payoffs up. And so, like I said, I'm over 2 over the 9-3, 2, 3, 9, something to that, and I probably box a triple in exactas.
All right.
Well, if you're playing a trifecta, I would use vodka with a twist underneath for sure, because that horse likes finishing underneath.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So let's, Derek, if you want to share your thoughts, unless you're playing something in the contest, I don't want you to.
Yeah, no, I'm playing something in the contest. At this point, it doesn't matter yet. I feel like it's too early for anyone to, doesn't really affect me at this point. Tomorrow, I probably won't be saying exactly what I'm playing. I love the 9. So I'm doing doubles with the 9, triple with the 9, exacta with the 9 on top. So I have the 9, and then underneath, I like the 8, I like the 6, and I like the 3.
Wow, the 9 just went to even money.
Seriously?
No.
No.
Oh, I was like, that can't be. I'm like, but I didn't bet to win. So, but that's who I like right now. Yeah, I just think these I think the Japanese horses, this is another year they're going to show. So, I know the 8 didn't do well, but if you look at the race in the last race with that 8, it got it kind of got sent back, and I wouldn't worry about what happened to that horse for this one. So I it's one of my mandatory plays. So I'll be betting the 9 on top, 600 throughout different doubles, exactas, and triples.
Okay.
There we go. Your 9-2 for the daily double is paying 7-1 over the favorite immersive at 5-1. So,
and I did use a 2-2 double, 2 Snow White over there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's 46-1. So $10 gets you back.
That works.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Not bad. Oldie, you're still sticking with the 3.
I'm sticking with the 3 and the 4. Those are the 2 horses I like here.
4 or 2 is $24. Okay.
I have some pieces of both of those, so I'm happy to hear that's a decent to the Distaff double there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's go ahead and run. Then I believe this is the right clip. Yep. Let's go. We have a Dave Duncan from Racing Downwind talking about this race. Ready?
Yeah, roll it.
Yep.
Are you guys hearing anything?
No.
Not right now. No. So far, no good.
Okay, well, that might be a problem.
Yeah.
Because I'm not hearing anything either, which makes me think that maybe the audio didn't come over when it downloaded. I know it was there when I.
If there are any lip readers in the audience that can translate.
Oh, well, yeah, still not coming over, so we will have to skip that for now.
Yeah, we'll try another one later.
Hey, Dan, I think you might think I need a drug test, but maybe just a cognitive. I assure you I'm not on drugs.
We had a
But
question
maybe
earlier.
cognitive. What's
We had
that, Chris?
We had a question earlier from Kenneth Schwartz. Was curious about relying on the Euro Sword, GSR, and Pace Figs. Scotty mentioned several times that the figs are much less reliable due to lack of good info, but changes coming at some point. It did take a bit longer this year to get them up because there were a lot more things that had to go into that. He is improving them, but you're right. They're if that's your breaking point, then perhaps you need to go do a little bit of in-depth stuff elsewhere because it's just not going to be there with it. But from what I've seen, and Oldie can comment on this as well, I haven't seen anything that was really glaring one way or the other. What about you, Oldie?
No, there's a couple on the Japanese horses, but again, the pace numbers are really only as good as the data we receive.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nothing glaring, but I think the Euro numbers are pretty accurate actually. And if you looked at that last race, it was relatively accurate.
I agree. Derek, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say because all I can go off is what I can watch. It's better than what I'm going to come up with. So, if I take all this, I think anything like that, they're with kind of, you got to look at what your eyes show you, and you got to look at the race and know. I also look at like these trainers and how they've done, in these Breeders' Cup races. There's certain ones that whether it's Japanese or UK trainers that they come over, and when they come over, they win. Or there's certain races like Oldie's going to tell you in probably the 8th race that this trainer wins other races, but this race the trainer doesn't do well in. So that's kind of what I like to see more than anything. So yeah, I'm sure it's more reliable than what I'm going to come up with. So it's a good starting point. Just like anything, you got to take all the data you get. So that's my take.
Yep. But as most of the people that have been with us a while know, they're doing a complete rewrite in the background of the entire application. And that's to give us, make sure we're stable, make sure we don't have any issues, and the platform is good. Well, I haven't seen a lot of people complaining about any downtime recently over the last few months. So that is good news as well. But
so Brad's doing his job, is what you're saying.
Don't tell him we said that, though.
Yeah. All right, where are we at here? We got to watch. 10 minutes to go.
10
I'm
minutes
trying
to
to
post
get our audio working here
All right.
because it's working on my computer. It's just not coming out on the tab. Still not coming out on the tab. So
I think Spafford is all over this race.
So yeah. So actually, David, I got a question for you because I don't know. For me, I understand what you're saying that the two might have gotten a tough start in that race, but the horse lost by 9 to a horse that also got bumped at the break and basically was handwritten and won by 9, right? So I'm assuming if you like the 2, you got to kind of like the 10. Or are you just throwing out the 10 because of the post too?
Yeah, no. I think the 10, to me, watching that race, Derek, the 2 may have more upside because I noticed watching that race multiple times that once the 8, once Scottish Last broke off and just started drawing off, and then Rosario got off the rail on Snow White, he looked like he was not going to press his horse to try to get any closer. He knew the horse was beaten, and he was just going to maintain his second place position, which he did very, very well. There was no one close to the first 2 finishes. It's then 6 lengths to the third filly, which Social Fortress. So I don't think he pressed this horse at all. I think this horse has ability. I just think at that price, when I saw 15-1 morning, I just I think this horse could be sitting on a big race, and I love the breeding, going 2 turns, and I think I'm taking a chance, obviously, with the 10 leaving the 10 out, but the 10 now is going 2 turns with the outside post, so it's a little trickier of a trip. And I know, I'm telling you, the 2 should have had more speed than Scottish the last time out. And I think with Luis Saez riding over Joel, you're going to see that better position going into that first turn.
Yeah, you could see what Luis in the first race. Luis at least got to the lead.
Right.
So yeah, no, I do like your look on the 2 was the favorite in that race, and not that you always want to look at that, but it means that and a decent favorite. What is it, like 8 or 7-5, 8-5, like that horse? It was being bet heavy. So
yeah. And Derek, when you see the first race that this filly had on September 1st, I mean, it was a 7 furlong race, and this horse got out to the lead pretty easy. Fractions were 22-2, and then the next race in a stakes race draws the rail going a mile. What do you figure? The horse, and puts blinkers on, is going to have the lead.
Yep.
It didn't make any sense that this horse not going to have the lead. And if that was the case, the 2 gets the lead. The 2, to me, actually it was the 1 horse. Snow White had the 1 post. It looked like the 1 at that point, to me, looking at the race that day, that was the lone speed, and that horse was going to go wire to wire. When she didn't get out, it changed the race dynamic. So I'm going to give that horse another chance. To me, I think this horse is sitting on a huge race today. Is it good enough to move up? Amazing to win a grade 1. I've seen it before, and I think Good Magic was one of them. But yeah. But the price is too tempting for me, Derek.
No, I don't blame you. I mean, people can't complain when someone's picking a 20-1 shot. I feel like you'll take it. It's not something. Let me see. It's not a guarantee, but it's always if you like something and the odds go up, you got to like it more.
In a grade 1 race, yeah, I just think because there's so many other horses taking money and the race is so competitive, and I think, basically Immersive is going to be overbet, and maybe not over. I mean, it's going to take the amount of money that it deserves probably, but I'm not. I still not sold on Immersive being a great filly, but I think she's going to run well. I just think there's some other alternatives here. And at 9-5, when I can try to, even if I can get Immersive on top of the 2 runs second or even third with the 9, I'm going to have a nice payday. So, like I said, my goal today, my strategy to try to have a positive ROI over the weekend is to try to weed out some long shots who I think are alive. So the 2 hits are right on the mark for me.
Right between the eyes. All right.
Right between the eyes, my friend.
All right. Let me just take a quick look at where we're at. We're at 5 minutes to go. Oldie.
We're going to talk about the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies.
You guys able to hear that at all?
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
How long is it, Oldie?
Get a look at that 2 on the track here.
It's 3 minutes long, Chris.
Perfect.
It's a very interesting race. I think that Scottish Lassie seems to be the major interest for most people. I think her buyer's figure, I think the last buyers, I'm going off the top of my head, was right around a 90, which was, the fastest of most of the Americans. You do have Impressive that looks very interesting in this race. And then you do have the Japanese horse, American Bikini, who basically is almost like an American bred because she's out of American Pharoah, but does have some European breeding on the dam side. But I think in general, I think maybe the winner of this race is going to have to go with about a 93, 94 buyers. So you're going to have these 2-year-olds that are going to step forward a little bit. And I think those are the 3 that look to be the ones that should dominate this race. Baffert's horse looked like dropped out today in non-compliant. So, but I wasn't too impressed with her last run. So I didn't think she was going to be much of competition in the race. So I think it's down to a 3-horse race at this point.
Oldie, thoughts?
Yeah. So, Dave, since you know a lot more about Japanese racing than I do, but I've been doing a little bit of pedigree analysis on American Bikini on the dam side. And my question to you is, do you think that American Bikini can get this? Because what I'm seeing is she may be a one-turn sprinter.
I think the way they do training in Japan, where they train in straights and they train with uphill in those straights, I think that she'll be able to get the distance. Will she get burned up too early? That would be the key. But I think in general, most really good Japanese horses, they teach and train to set just off the pace. That's why every once in a while you'll see a very surprise horse that wires a field at a very, very big number, because they're not really used to going out and really challenging a front runner. Most of the really good Japanese horses come from out of it. They'll set 5th to 10th and then make one big run, is generally the way that they're trained.
Yeah, fair enough. I think we've all kind of seen that over the last few years. They've been coming over here for the big races for sure.
All right, so that was Dave Duncan from Racing Downwind.
Super nice guy. We had a great conversation with him last night. If Oldie has more of the audio, we'll certainly be playing that. They're coming up to the gate here.
The only thing, I was just watching looking at the post parade, and the only thing I noticed, I didn't see this from her the last time out at Keeneland, immersive. It's a little lathered up, not awful, but just a little lathered up. And I know it's not hot there, right? But probably nothing out of the norm, but it looked like a little more lathered up than the last race.
1.6 million in the pick 4 pool. If you're playing 9 to 5 on immersive, 8 to 5 now.
8 to 5 now, and the next two choices are the 9 4-1 and the 10 4-1.
Derek with American Bikini and other things. David on the 2
at 21 to 1.
So my impression on American Bikini, I'm just going to tell you this, Derek, is based on what I see on the dam side of that horse, that this horse is 100% a sprinter, and I just don't see it getting 2 turns.
All right, we'll see.
David, I'm taking some 2 into 1 in the next race. Double.
Into Lake Victoria?
Yeah.
What's that?
The Manny Franco cam.
Yeah, I know everyone's going to want to use Lake Victoria, and I think obviously a horse is 4 for 4. You're going to use that horse, but I heard some reports that this horse is not working. She wasn't working the best, but I don't know. Again, it's a European chipper, so I just think some.
David, I'm dead set against her.
54 to 1 in the double pool. I'll take it.
Can you guys hear it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to just go to my other monitor. I will join you right after the race is off. Good luck, everybody.
Mute your.
Good luck with your immersive, Aldi.
And Scottish Lady comes up to the outside stall. They're all in line. We are ready for the start. They're off in the Breeders' Cup. Juvenile Fillies and Noonie goes immediately to the early. By Flavian Pratt to establish early command here. American Bikini goes with her on the outside. Vodka with a twist is away running in 3rd. Immersive is 4th. Then Scottish Lassie a bit wide into that turn. Snow White and Lacara are next. Then Ultimata Chacho, who is 2nd last early ahead of Quick Kick the trailer. So the Fillies make their way onto the backstretch. And Noonie is the one to catch, and she's opened up 3 on American Bikini through a 22 flat opening.
22. Hey-o.
Yeah, I'm moving.
American
She's
Bikini on
moving.
the outside. Vodka with a twist.
Gotta be
along the
good for
rail,
oldies
heads apart
4.
second and third. And then it's Immersive fourth, and she's got 7 to make up at this stage. On her outside is Scottish Lassie up the backstretch. Break of 2.5 back to Snow White. And then comes La Cara at the back, our quick kick, and Otomeno Chacho. 44.99 was Unni's half mile, and Nooney heads for the far turn with a 4-length
9 is
lead.
gone.
3
Dead.
furlongs from the finish.
Yeah, two's dead.
The twist is come on. And
Who's a sprinter, probably?
American Bikini's given way. Immersive is under a drive. She's got 3 lengths to make up as Vodka with a twist has taken the lead. And
This
Scottish
5 and
Lassie
4 are coming. This 5's coming
at the
good.
top of the stretch. Vodka with a twist. Scottish Lassie Immersive has kicked it into high gear now. And here comes the undefeated filly. And she goes right on by to the
wow.
gate pole. Immersive has taken charge.
Goldie.
And she is pulling away under Manny Franco.
You and Brad was that way. I think one of the ones you guys agreed
Good
on.
call, Oldie. Good call.
Yeah.
He's the real
Immersive
deal.
has not let me down yet. And David, you remember the story, but that was also my single in the in that, you know, the total of 40 whatever $1,000.
Yes,
But-
yes. Yeah.
So, you know, and continued to come through for me. I was a little worried about this race, and I was definitely worried when Scottish Lassie seemed to get the jump on her there.
Yeah, got the first move. Yep.
Yep.
Oh, guys. All right. Well, good luck.
If they decide to
it's
bring,
going to kill my.
yeah,
Right.
You're gonna. It's at a 0 out on
Sorry,
the
guys. So
minimum.
I'm just saying.
there.
I'm thinking of,
so that gets me alive in the 2-day doubles. That gets me
Nice.
alive in the pick 4.
And drifted up to a 2-1. I think you got a solid
Yeah,
2
had
to
I
1.
seen that, it also would have gotten me
Listen, yeah.
alive to a win bet. But
Well, the double went off in Oldie for me into the next race at 5-1, which is not bad.
so
take it.
if they say there's no improvement and this was an 80 buyer again, I'm calling BS.
Okay.
Because I think that threw a lot of people off, because the Keeneland race was actually a lot faster than the race that Scottish Lassie ran at Aqueduct, but the speed figures were reversed.
And Oldie, the 2-day double into Torpedo Anna is paying 5-1 also.
Wait, did I have the 5? Oh, I didn't play the 5 in third. I had a try with Vodka with a twist there. I had Scottish Lassie. I had everything but Quick Kick.
Brad said they had.
That's bad try.
I think Brad and Matt went out with the owners or met up with them at Del Mar yesterday, and they were pretty high on the horse to hit the board. They were just been happy to run 4th or 5th, but I think that exceeded their expectations for sure.
Yeah, quite impressive. Immersive got the right pace, that's for sure. Nooney just flew out there.
Vodka with a twist. That's kind of what Vodka with a twist does, is finish second. I mean, which you can make a lot of money in these races by as owners with that. So, you know,
That
if
buys
you
a
look
lot
here,
of Oldie, that buys a lot of brooches and pterodactyls.
Yeah, I mean that's the third straight second place finish for Vodka with a twist.
Yeah, that's the marmalade.
Yeah. So let me look at my doubles here, and I'll tell you what I'm alive to tomorrow for the. I think I'm pretty good going into tomorrow. Let's see. I have. Hold on. I was using New York NYRA bets for my doubles, so I could keep things separate because it would be easier to find. So I have $100 immersive to Torpedo Anna double tomorrow.
That is paying 500.
I have a $20 immersive to Awesome Results double tomorrow.
Okay.
And then I have a $5 immersive to Alice for TT, for Taiti, however you pronounce it, double tomorrow.
Okay.
So I was kind of, I mean, I figured if that upset somehow happened and that horse got away on the front end, then, to not put anything there,
Right.
would be crazy. So I figured
Thanks,
take a
Derek.
shot there.
All right. Oldie, we can do a Churchill race. Churchill Downs race 10.
Sure, we can do a brooch, a pterodactyl, or a Churchill race. So
yeah.
Let's see here. Churchill race 2. We're still 12 minutes away from that one.
Churchill race 10.
Churchill race 10. Lots of horses, lots of first-time starters.
Yep. It's a dream.
I think I actually handicapped this race earlier, and I liked the 7 Bermuda Blitz for Mark and his Cassie.
24%. Race Sim has it in second with the 6 winning 2 Monarch, who is the current favorite. Brendan and his Walsh. For Ben and his Curtis. Cassie.
So it was interesting to me that Flo was actually riding here at Churchill today and is flying in. I did not really think much of any of these first-time starters. Maybe the Ravelli, but there's just because he wins on with a lot of first-time starters, he's 27%. But there's nothing in the works that makes me think, other than the fact that he shipped a horse to Kentucky to run it from Hawthorne. So, granted, Hawthorne closed too. So, but you look through these firsters, and David, I don't know if you have a different opinion. Maybe the Dutrow one also that you're getting 8-1 on and has pretty decent works. The 10 might be a player too.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at it, just going through to see if there's any of my characters who I've bet on before. There's a bunch of first-time starters. So let me just take a look at the breeding here. How many minutes to post?
10.
You have plenty of time here.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, let me just take a quick look. We got a scratch of the 9 Honor Point. We got a pace metric of 2 Monarchs, got the highest pace number. So the 6 should be on the lead, 4 stalking. Yeah, let me just take another quick look here.
All right, Billy. While he is looking, I'm kind of with you there. I mean, there's nothing really exciting here. I do think, Cassie, you're the second pick. Win percentage is good.
Mm-hmm.
The 6 probably will be heard from at some point. Will it just fold? Or be able to, it's on a cutback here too, right? I mean, it's only a furlong.
And the Asmussen horse, the 8, the long shot, looks like a turf horse to me. I don't know why there's not a down arrow on that, but because last time it ran on the dirt, but first time out it ran it was a 76 GSR on the turf, and had the lead in the stretch at Kentucky Downs.
Yeah,
that turf race looked a lot better than his dirt race on September 28th.
Yeah.
Yep. And Bermuda Blitz 9-2. Vekoma off that debut race. This horse is going to be tough. 2 Monarch is a 5-2 favorite, and Caravaggio.
it's the 10 2-par on the outside. I mean,
Cloud Computing first time going 6. I probably passed on the Cloud Computing going 6 first out. The horse that I think could be live here at the price is the 11. Another
Okay.
Caravaggio, maybe way on the outside, but working a turf weight for Ravelli. And the only other horse that I think could be live here, let me just take a look at. We got any good workouts there?
Oldie, what's so funny?
Look at Sylvain's comment here. I'll put it up.
No, about the Japanese horses.
Yeah.
It's early. It's early yet. We got a whole. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so far, the one that I was particularly interested in is the one in the last today, which there's some buzz on.
Okay.
What about the 5? I mean, 7-1, the other Dutro, but really just seems to run the same race no matter who it's racing against.
Mm-hmm.
I think it needs tired horses to pass.
Oh,
I'm going with the Vekoma at 9-2. You're not going to get 9-2 very often on Mark Casse with a Vekoma.
All right, I'm just trying to take a look at the post parade here. Let me just see here. 8 looks okay.
I'll run the race sim.
Let me just take I'm going to check the first time stats on the trainer of the 4, Eric Reed. Does he ever win with first timers? Because that horse could be live first time out.
He won a Derby, didn't he?
What, the Derby?
Hold on a second. 9% with first time outers. That's a little low for my liking.
Yeah.
But it's coming on the track here on my big screen. Let me just take a look.
Yeah. And, I'm thinking that probably a good portion of that 9% has come at Belterra.
Could be.
Or Mahoney.
Hey, what, the 4 has no lead pony. Looks real comfortable. Looks like the type of horse to me with no lead pony he's a little too relaxed. That he may be a distance horse. That's just going to not be a fast-paced horse here. But yeah, I think I'm gonna give a shot. What the hell? 28-1 on a game winner. Horse is working okay, and it's just a wide open race. And maybe with one of the Caravaggio's, the 6 or the 11.
The description on NYRA bets on the 7 horse is pretty funny.
What did it say?
It says has been averaging a 72 speed figure. So the average is a one-race average.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, we got that Churchill race coming up in just a few minutes, and then we'll get back to the Breeders' Cup Oldie. We'll have plenty of time to kind of go over what can you do for the last 3 races and see where we're at from there. In the meantime, while we're waiting for Churchill, let me share my screen and we will take a look at.
All right, so I'm on game day. All right, yeah, how's the BCBC coming? Evan Topol still 40.
Yep, I've got. Can you see it, Moldy?
Yeah, no, is it updated? So no, it's not updated after the last race. It's race 6 right now.
Updated after race 6, and we are currently.
I would imagine either some people were alive to a double there, or have a Mercive coming out of there to Lake Victoria.
See how Scotty's doing. Scotty is not fired on entry number 2. Entry number 1 is over. So he may be done and played all of his minimums or the whole ticket over 3 races. I don't know.
Or he just went all in on something early and then was going to play minimums late.
Brad Anderson has not fired. So
Fire.
he is likely going to, I would guess, have to fire in this race.
Fire.
There's only three left. So yeah, he's got to play 600 minimum the next
So he's got to hit play the last three.
I'm pretty sure I know what he's doing here.
Matt is in the same place. Has not fired yet. Will be fired in the next 3 races. I, like you, think I know what that's going to be. But until this gets updated, I'm not saying a word.
Yeah, and Matt Gum also hasn't really fired either.
No. These guys have all fired. And when the contest is all done and being audited, we will all get to see what they played. And they literally do the auditing in real time now. Jim Goodman, who is one of the compliance guys, they have all the software and know everybody together and run it through a big program to make sure that there isn't collusion going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it is extremely fair. I think they found some problems in the past and some people were banned. And one thing that people tell you when you play on site is you don't want Jim Goodman tapping you on the shoulder or having him call you on your phone. So, but yeah, it's good that they do that. All right, Oli, I'm going to bring you back up here. Churchill, I think, is getting somewhat close. And David,
3 minutes. 3 minutes.
You landed on the 2 here, I think you said?
4.
4.
The 4, the game winner. Yeah, game day.
Game day.
All right, I'm just I don't want to go fast forward too much, but just noticed that Lake Victoria is currently at 1-2, not 1-1, Chris, 1-2.
Or as they call it, uneven money.
Yeah.
Uneven money, not odds. We call that odds on in New York.
Yeah, it is definitely uneven money. Yeah, and I was just happy that I could get her at 5-1 here off of Oldie's Horse Immersive. And one of the things I also liked was that a few other people liked it too. So I like it when some of those opinions line up. Killjoy wins, Dean says. I think we talked about Killjoy a little bit. The 11
Yeah,
horse.
I'm using. Yeah, I would use the 2 Carvaggios, Killjoy, in my exotics with the 4, and the other Carvaggio, who is under my notes here. I think it's who's the other Carvaggio?
6.
The 6.
Yeah,
6 and 11.
2, 4, 6, 11.
All right, and
The
they're about
interesting.
to enter the gate here. If somebody can do the audio.
All right. Let me see.
I unfortunately cannot do the audio.
Let me see. I get my audio up here.
It is post time.
Just going to make it a little louder if I do that.
Waiting for Mac and Moosery. McAfee, Killjoy, and South Bend.
Can you hear my audio?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, I just received 1 play.
Killjoy, South Bend, Tom, last 2.
All right. Good luck, everybody. If you're on the 10th at Churchill.
I like Oldie's 7. Little action on the 7.
Yeah, I would have liked.
They don't yell, no,
better
at Churchill.
They're in the gate.
They don't yell, no.
7 with David's 4.
And they're off.
And the 4 got off slow.
Start for second to me. And a good start for
Second
Hoff.
to
Hoff
me.
is off well. Right there, two Bermuda Blitz with some early zip. Killjoy far outside, races up, and Le Chiffre comes through down toward the rail. So those 4 are full throttle early, and they've opened up
Would be
by
great
5.
if
Hoffman is back
James
racing.
Bond from New York cheering that horse.
Comes through toward the inside to grab 6 up.
The
Ben
3.
Thomas again 7th. Ekin Musri's now 8th. McAfee's 9th by
Killjoy's
5.
looking strong here.
Starting
Oh, yeah.
second in the trailer. They're on the far turn. Killjoy takes over. Killjoy is the leader with 3 furlongs to go. The Chiffre's keeping pace though, and they knocked out a quarter at a sharp 21-2.
Woo!
Here comes Bermuda
They're
Blitz.
flying,
Bermuda
gentlemen.
Blitz comes on 3 wide.
Yeah,
In the
I'll be-
meantime, the closers are rolling
There we
back.
go.
And Blitz on the far turn. Up into 4th to Monarch is picking it up as well. Akin Musari's picking through the pack with a rally. Super Snoop's coming through toward the
And
rail.
Game Winner's on the rail.
For the 8th pole.
Come on,
Bermuda
Game
Blitz in
Winner.
front, trying
Weave
to
through horses.
finish it off.
Oh, my Lord. Just got
Come on,
through.
baby.
Caught by that 10.
10.
McAfee.
Come on, up the rail.
For the lead, Bermuda Blitz starts to give
Up
way.
the rail,
Akin
baby.
Musari came
No.
down inside. Here's the wire. And McAfee from off the pace.
No, we got a
all
second.
3. And
Okay, I
fight
got a
for
place
second
on
there,
it.
Game Day or Akin Musari. Bermuda Blitz.
Man.
That was the horse. That was the horse you hated, Oldie. David, the 10, the cloud
Yeah.
computing horse.
Oh, yeah, right. First time out, I don't want any part of cloud computing. I should have used it exactly with the 4, who went off at 36-1. But I had a win place wager on the 4, so that'll work for me.
That 4 really gets second.
Yeah, I think so.
That was the other. That was another Detro. The other Detro, right?
No, the 4 was the 4 the Eric Reed.
Eric Reed.
No, but the other. Detro had 2 in there. He had
Yeah,
the
5
the
was the
5
other
and
one.
Unless the 5 got it. I made me wrong. But if 4 got it, the worst.
The mirrors before the pole, so I think that was better for the 4 at the wire.
Well, either way, even if I lost, he ran a good race. So I got excitement out of my race. I got entertainment wager. I got entertainment.
That was 246-1 exacta. Wow. 10-4.
It was 10-5 exacta. So either you cash or I cash.
I didn't have it either way.
I didn't have the exacta. I had a win place wager on it.
10-5 paid 104-1.
Number 10, McAfee first. What a second.
I mean, there's really not even a second choice in this. I'm looking at let's pull this up for the Breeders' Cup.
Yay, 10-4. Sorry about that, Wiz.
Wow.
There's really not a second choice. I mean,
That'll be a good place bet
Hot
too,
process.
David.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. 36-1. I'm hoping to get
Game day second.
20
Akin Musari was third.
$21.80.
7, 4, 12, South Bend top.
Awesome.
I just looked at the total amount of money wagered and I kind of figured out some quick numbers. I'm only joking. I'm not a mathematician. I'm going to predict 2180.
2180. We will keep track of that.
Okay.
Oldie, you were back out to Del Mar, right? Race 8.
yes. Yeah. And, their thought process is 5-1. That's the second choice. Your third choice is 13-1. So if you can beat Lake Victoria, if Lake Victoria gets beat here, a lot of things are going to pay a lot of money.
Correct.
Okay, so give us the reasons why Lake
Let
Victoria.
me
From Sadafate.
Pull up my notes so I can go through the reasons with you. Come on. There we go. Future Stars Friday. My notes are not staying on the screen. All right, hold on one sec here. So Lake Victoria, you're undefeated,
4 for 4.
undisputed, 4 for 4. So first of all, Aiden struggles in the Philly and Mare Turf. He has 1 win out of, I think, 13 attempts. In this race, he's been the favorite and odds-on favorite several times.
David, hold on, Oldie, real quick. How's $35.70?
Whoa, way over. Thank you. Hey-oh.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm done. I don't want to play any more Breeders' Cup races. I made.
You made your
Yeah.
entertainment.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Oldie.
Yeah, so there's that. The horse has never been a mile, which there's actually, I believe, only been 2 horses that have won this race that have not previously been a mile. Horse it hasn't been around a turn, as well as Aiden was on the broadcast of the breakfast at the Breeders' Cup on Wednesday and made a comment about the horse that he didn't really want to run the horse at a mile this year, and that Michael, and I don't remember the other owner's name that's in part of Coolmore, wanted to run the horse a mile, so they decided to bring the horse here.
Right.
So I think the plan in Aiden's mind was that the horse wouldn't run a mile till a 3-year-old, till its 3-year-old season. I can tell you the dam side is all sprint as well. So I have distance questions here. Going around 2 turns as well when you've never been even around 1 turn. And then there was the thing that happened yesterday, which apparently in the Aiden Dog and Pony show, the horse had trouble keeping up with the other horses. I don't know how much weight to put into that. And, that as to whether that there's any meaning to that at all. For all I know, that happens in every dog and pony show that Aiden puts on with that parade of where they work out in order, and that maybe the horse needs to be closer to the front. The International Scouting Report on the horse has the same distance questions and thinks that they are going to have to take back at the start as they did at 7 because of the distance questions, and that they're going to have to make 1 run. So that's kind of the summary of all the reasons I'm against the horse here.
Okay. So with that being said, who are you landing on here, Oldie?
With that being said, I hate every horse in this race. If you pressed me, it would be the 7, 5, and 4. But, if Kilwin wasn't coming out of Kentucky Downs, that would be a very high choice of mine. I think the Chad Brown closer has, if Virgin Colada has a chance. I think if it wasn't for the wide posts, Vixen and Mayday Ready both are prices that are way too high right now. And that was kind of the list of the other horses. I think that there's a possibility that Nitrogen could go gate to wire too.
Okay, interesting that you did reference a couple of horses I like. So, with that being said, I will offer my opinion on this race, and obviously, I'm not. This is a race I am playing, even though it's a turf race. I am concentrating mostly on the dirt with my major wagers. But you've got to use Lake Victoria. I mean, I don't know if the horse is going to win. I will tell you this, in my humble opinion, this horse is way grossly overbet right now.
Yes.
Now, with that being said, if this horse wins by 10 lengths, then I'm going to reverse my opinion and say I was wrong. But I'm never going to play a 3 to 5 horse in a Breeders' Cup Grade 1 race when I think there's some live long shots here. And then the key is that when this horse is 3 to 5, I think that price will drift up on her. But at this rate, you have horses that are when you have an underlay, you're going to have overlays. And I see overlays here that'll make my eyeballs pop out of my head. So the horses I want, Oldie, I want horses out of the Grade 1 Natalma at Woodbine. I'll tell you why. I was a big fan of, and one more time, Mark Cassie's horse. Mark Cassie had 5 that day. And One More Time to me was very, very impressive. I got word on this horse at Saratoga that they loved the horse. It's a horse, and One More Time is a $750,000 purchase. The problem is this horse had a win and you're in, and she's got some injury, an ankle injury, I believe. So she's out until next year. So that was going to be my single on the day today, and One More Time in this race. So with that being said, it's just logical now, especially at the prices the two Cassies are. Nitrogen at what, 28 to 1, and Vixen 27 to 1. Actually, Nitrogen's 42 to 1
right now.
Give me that all day long. And the key for that race, I believe in that this race in Atama is going to end up being a key race. And I could be wrong, but I was very impressed with that race. There's only two other horses that come out of a grade 1 race, and that's Nitrogen, Vixen, besides Lake Victoria, and I think there's one other shipper. So that race, if you look, the fractions were real contentious. And Nitrogen got out to a lead. You're going a mile in 23 and 1, I believe, was the fraction there at 41 to 1. So now with Cassie having 5 in that race, he's going to say, well, 1's the pace setter, so the 2 was the pace setter, and One More Time was the stalker and closer, and so was Vixen. Now, if you look at the 13 Vixen, the Vacoma, I do know the outside post I don't love, but Johnny V stays with Vixen, and Nitrogen, who picks up the mount on Nitrogen, is Jose Ortiz. So I'm liking both of those, and I need one of those horses in my wagers. So I'm going to use both the 2 and the 13 coming out of the grade 1 Natama. And I think I would really love the 13 if it was a better post. With that being said, I'm going to use the 1 over the 2, 13. I'm using the 2 and the 13 as win place bets. And I'm going to use a couple of doubles, 1, 2, 13, with my best bet in the 9th race, which is Jonathan's Way. So it's 1, 2, 13 over the 5 doubles in the next race, and 1, 2, 13 combinations exacted triple, and there we go. That's my opinion on this race, and I'm trying to weed out some long shots, so I'm just hoping I can get an exact of 213 and the one's out. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm a big. I watched those grade 1 races at many times, the many replays at Woodbine for that day, and I'm impressed by that race.
So somebody's asking why the SOR is that low on the Natama, and my answer would be that's the way the algorithm graded it, and I don't think we can explain exactly how the algorithm grades things. If we could, or if we could influence it, because we had a feeling it wouldn't be accurate and it wouldn't be doing the job of what it's there for. So it may just be possible nobody's run back from it. Right. That there were 5 Cassies in there. So, and a couple of them were not really graded stakes horses. I think there were also 4 Attard horses in that race too. So it was, I think, 10 horses or 8 horses, whatever it was, from 2 trainers.
Right.
But all right, we can watch the race sim. I will tell everybody while we're talking here, the horse that just won at Churchill, that 10 horse, according to one of the members of the Stretch Run WhatsApp chat, was half to Torpedo Anna. So it might be something you want to put in your notes when that horse runs back.
Okay. Yes, I did see that note. Yes.
All right, we've got horses out on the track here at Del Mar. 4 minutes to go, 8 furlongs on the firm turf course. $1 million race, Oldie. Your top pick here was the 8?
No, my top pick here if you pressed me hard for a top pick, it's the 7. But I believe I was 754 in that order.
Okay, I had your stuff backwards. Yeah, 754 we raise. I think you talked a little bit about the 8 for Aiden.
Yeah, I don't like how the GSR came out on that horse.
Yeah, it's kind of
At
hard
all.
to tell what level you're really at here. And it's also on the other pattern, right? It's never won
Yeah.
2 in a row.
And, I even thought the 3 has a little bit of a look for grab motion. It's working really nicely as well. And
the 9 Kilwin, we talked a little bit about that one before too. Did have some nice looking works. Won twice, two in a row. I mean, really didn't do anything wrong. Has the Kentucky Downs curse, which is always hard to overcome. Could be too far back here, but is in that spot that David likes where horses can close from.
Yeah.
On the other side.
Yeah, in my mind, it's right on the limit of how wide you can be on this turf course, which is a pretty narrow turf course.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, they had to expand it to hold what it holds right now.
Yeah, and I am concerned with the post on the on Vixen, the 13, and would like the horse. I'd fire away a lot more on that horse if it had a more inside post. And again, so Nitrogen is my other. The 2 posts should be perfect here, and it'll be interesting to see if Jose wants to just gun this horse, because now you could set it up and rate the 13. You're not going to gun the 13 from that post. I believe that horse is going to, JR is going to try to navigate an inside path somehow from that 13 post and close.
This horse really has to step it up. It's certainly a class hike to a certain extent here, for sure. But I mean, David, you were right with another one, and even a second here, 45-1, is going to be all right.
Yes, and again, the 7 does have speed, so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see who guns and who goes and who rates.
All right, Jennifer's going.
And what Lake Victoria does from that rail.
Yeah. I mean, there's really only 2 choices from that rail: take back or go as hard as you can.
Right. And knowing the European riders, very rarely do I see even from the rail post oldie where any of these Euro riders are going to gun out, to try to get, go all out with this horse to try to get the lead, but before the first turns, especially when you have Nitrogen right alongside him. Her, I mean.
Yeah, and I just think, and Jenny Mack brings this up in the chat, the Rusty Arnold horse, the 5, almost won the grade 2 at Keeneland at 8.5, has a win at 8.5, and is cutting back here. And I don't think there's very many horses that are actually cutting back in distance, and this horse is working nicely. It does need to be forwardly placed, though. Looks like we got an update on the scoreboard before we go to the post here.
We've got an update, somebody waiting backstage as well, so that's awesome. No, I still see it only updated at 3:15. No, 4:04.
All right, let's go ahead and bring Justin in. And
okay, they're starting to load into the gate for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf.
I'm going to add Justin here for this.
What's up?
Hey, man.
Hey, Justin.
Immersive was much the best day. I just had to pick up my son from school. I play Mayday Ready here.
Mayday Ready.
You're ready.
Mayday Ready. The closer with Frankie Dettori.
It's hard. I'm sure you all talked a lot about Lake Victoria. She obviously looked like the real deal, but we'll see.
Oh, yeah.
Way over bet. Way over bet.
Yeah, David, I agree with you. That wasn't for me. I didn't think she was as much of a lock.
All right.
David, do you have the sound here?
I
do
can
not
play it
have
if you need it. Do you need it?
Yes. No.
Yeah,
I
go
have
for it.
I
new
got it.
laptop. Justin.
You got it,
on
Justin?
They're off
Okay.
in the Juvenile Fillies turf. Coretto comes out the best. On the inside, Lake Victoria is going to be a part of the early pace. Thought process is right there on the outside, and Kilwin is showing speed today. And then it's Heaven's Gate in behind them, followed by Totally Justified. And then Abiento to the outside, a little bit wide into that turn. But Thought Process will establish the early lead here. And Kilwin is second to the outside. Coretto is third. Abiento is fourth. Heaven's Gate running along in fifth, 4 lengths off the lead and clear of Vixen. And then comes the big favorite, Lake Victoria. Ryan Moore has her 7 lengths behind at this stage of the race. Totally Justified, Nitrogen next, and to their outside, it's Scythian. Mayday Ready.
Long way to be back.
And then Virgin Colada, Fiery Lucian, and Shota is the trailer. 22.25 was that opening quarter mile as they head up. Hector Barrios and Thought Process, the leader, out there by a length and a half to Kilwin, Abiento, and to the inside, Coretto. Meanwhile, Lake Victoria's down on the inside. She's got 5 lengths to make up, and in behind a wall of horses with Thought Process to catch. Around the far turn they go. Thought Process, the leader. Kilwin continues to bear down. Lake Victoria's got her room now, and here she comes as she swings up on the outside, and they're into the stretch. Thought Process.
Come on, Frankie.
Lake Victoria.
Ah.
Lake Victoria goes right by to take the lead.
Get up, Frankie. I'll take the exacta.
Ugh.
Lake Victoria under
Yeah.
I should have.
Somebody let that horse off the rail. It was trapped on the rail. They
Oldie.
let him out.
There'll be talk about that in the chat real soon for sure.
112. Good call, Oldie. And I believe my good call, Justin. I mean, I think my 2 got third at 45-1.
I might have. I wonder if I don't think I did play a try. I don't think I used your 2. That's a bummer. I missed that, David. I did play the exacta. I should have mentioned that, but I thought that really was between the 2 of them. I didn't get to join your preview show, OD or Scotty's, but that's how I really saw that race. I don't know what the exacta paid though.
The exacta on what did you have? The one over the 12?
Did we really get 25-1?
One over the
Or enough
12.
horses.
Fourth choice in the race. The
Around
12
there.
was the 4th choice.
Yeah.
I mean, he's completely trapped on the rail there, and they just let him out. Well, maybe not let him out. He may have made room by knocking a horse out of the way, but there's not going to be an inquiry there.
Oldie with some rules analysis. Yeah, once the one got loose there. All right, I'm gonna wait and until this goes all official. But that was good for some people.
Yes.
Okay.
It was good for me because I had the double coming into this one from here, and then another one out. But the one was certainly a key player.
Yeah, the 2 did get third. Yep. Okay.
All right.
So, Justin, how was trick-or-treating last night?
Did you get good candy?
Well,
That's
hold
the
on.
question.
I'm in awe that we got, I think, 23-1 on that exacta. That's wild. But it was good. It was raining so hard here in Seattle. As a kid, I remember when that would happen, and it's always iffy in October here. So my oldest went, and he was like, I'm done after not very long. So I went and picked him and his friend up and drove them with my 9-year-old around, and they got so much candy. I think because it rained so much that people just started giving fistfuls of candy out. So it's like, I'll send you guys the pictures. It's actually quite funny. But it was, and Charles, I think that will be a great try. But Chris, I appreciate you asking. They really loved it. They're still talking about it today, which I love that. So
That's awesome.
Great.
We're going to have a bit of time, about 34 minutes between the next one. I looked. I don't know if you had a chance to look at the schedule, Justin. We did have a quarter horse race at Lone Star coming up at 7:20, and
I'm always down for that.
Remington pops Remington pops off at 7:30, and we could do an early double there that we would be inside of finishing up about.
I've got a request from one of my friends. There's a camel race going off in Dubai. I can get the feed going, and you can't wager on any ADW, but I got a guy who will take a wager on a camel race from Dubai, and always bet the 3 in the camel races. They win so much more than the competition.
We also have Dave Duncan's breakdown of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, which is the next race also. So,
I was like about 4 minutes. You want to play that?
Well,
Justin, you want to go to? We got plenty of time. You want to go?
Why don't no? You guys stay on that note. I really wanted to come on. I was trying to give out that exact on the 12, but it's really why I'm going to hang with you guys. Let me. I literally walked in the door. Why don't you guys keep doing what you're going to do, Chris? And like, I'll be okay. Cool.
Oldie, this sounds like time for you can run the Dave interview.
All right, give me 1 sec here.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'm just going to go upstairs and get a little bite to eat, and I'll be back down. So we got some time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and I'll be back too. I gotta get a little energy, a little fuel for my lock of the day coming up in the next race. So
Nice.
Here we go. All right, see you guys in a few minutes.
Give me 1 second here.
Oh, you're popping on the other machine. Got it. I'll mute David. Justin's muted. Thank you all for joining. Hit the like and subscribe button. We'll be back here tomorrow at about 2:25, I think, Oldie, Eastern time, right before all of the Breeders' Cup races. And we've got a pretty big schedule tomorrow, too, of things in between and stuff we can show and stuff we can't. But we'll pop on what we can here. And Oldie is getting the video up.
Ready?
Go. All right, still staying on Friday. We're going to get over to race 9.
All right, well, decided to
Breeders'
pause on
Cup Juvenile. What did you see here? And what are your comments about this race?
I find this race really, really interesting. Of course, Chancer Midpatrick is going to be the talk of the town coming from the East Coast. The big run and the hopeful at Saratoga, followed up with I think it was the Champagne over at Belmont at Aqueduct, which were 2 very, very impressive races. My concern with that is the race style of coming from so far out of it on a speed favoring dirt track at Del Mar. I can see closers coming if they get a lot of moisture in the track, maybe high tides put a lot of moisture where the horses will get better contact to the surface and make big runs in the turn and the stretch. But with his style coming so far out of it, if they can't get him to be closer up early, I think it's a disadvantage to him. And at that point, I think the advantage swings over to East Avenue, who ran a very impressive front-running effort at Keeneland.
I agree with you on the speed favoring. I've heard in the last day they've added some sand to the track. Friday was supposed to be completely dry. I think Saturday could get a little bit of moisture. I think the last weather report I read said maybe 1/10 of an inch of rain all day, which I don't think will really affect the track too much, at least the dirt track. And I don't think it's going to affect the turf either. But there'll be a little bit of moisture in the ground as the day goes on Saturday. But Oldie, back to the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah. So, Dave, what are your thoughts on the 2 Baffords, Gaming and Citizen Bull there? Because those are horses that I really like there. And Citizen Bull, I think last time out finally finally ran to his works, because the horse has been working up a storm.
Yeah, I think they're both interesting. I don't think that they're a Stafford horse coming into a race like this. It's not like something maybe like Corniche or something, who I think won the Juvenile at Del Mar, wire to wire fashion in 21. But I do think that they've got speed. I think the race does have a lot of speed if they decide to go and compete with each other. I think Getaway Car, I'm not sure the distance is going to fit with him if he runs as fast as he has before. You know, you got times at Del Mar where they went 44-1, 109-3, and he backed up. Gaming came from out of it in that race to overcome and win. So I think if anyone has a chance out of the two, I'd probably lean towards Gaming, being that the distance will be up his alley.
What about the Japanese horse Shin Believe?
I'm not too high on Shin Believe compared to the other Japanese runner that Maury has. This horse has worked with Forever Young, and he went out as a target for Forever Young. And as they went in the stretch and Forever Young come up the rail, this horse re-engaged with a very quick burst of energy in the stretch to stay pretty close to Forever Young the entire run of the stretch. So I think fitness-wise and talent-wise, this might be the better of the two.
And which one was that?
That was the Icaro Ezel.
Okay.
Okay.
Icaro Ezel. Excellent. All right. So that was Dave Duncan.
Racing Downwind. We had a great conversation with him the other night. He is playing the Breeders' Cup. He, I believe, is on site. Yes, he is. He had a 15-hour drive over there. I will just check the standings here and see if we get any update. We have not. But I know there should be a few people made a pretty decent jump. We'll see what some of the others did.
All right.
All right, late double here, Oldie. Is East Avenue all of that? And this, I know your opinion is.
Yeah, so I like Gaming and Citizen Bull and Jonathan's Way, in that order.
Mm-hmm.
But I like if you're asking what price I like Citizen Bull as my price. The question with Citizen Bull is, will he run to the works?
Yeah, it's got the old reliable Baffert jockey from back in the day, right? Martin Garcia in the ride. Shin Believe 36-1, huge odds on that one, 1%er. Justin, how did your work week treat you in terms of trying to handicap for all this? What do you think about this race?
You're muted.
Oldie, who did Chris? I'm curious to hear Oldie's full kind of opinion. I feel like I missed it.
Yeah, so I really think that the two Bafferts are the play here. I think they're being incredibly overlooked. Granted, Gaming's at 4-1, not 8-1 right now, but the Citizen Bull has been working, with some of Baffert's top horses and has been better than them in the workouts. It hasn't necessarily translated to the racetrack yet. It did last time out in the American Pharoah, but whether it translates this time, that to me, that's what the difference is. Gaming's also very lightly raced. Beat Wood, and to me, it was one of those two horses. And then I thought Jonathan's Way has a look, but I didn't like as much, and I know David loves Jonathan's Way. That's his pick of the day or best bet of the week of the day.
This David Harrison.
Yeah, Dave, that's what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know what I said there.
No, go ahead.
And Dave Duncan, that this was the horse he was talking about, and you'll see the note about Forever Young there.
What does it say?
It says Carousel started 6 lengths in front of Forever Young. He was being used as a target, basically. Forever flew in 35-2 to finish even at the wire and out in 46-4. Azal was 36-3 and 48 flat. Huge horse. So basically what Dave said was he saw this work and the horse basically re-engaged when Forever Young caught him and battled him to the wire.
I don't
No.
I thought this, I think what, I don't know. My comment, I feel like this might have been the hardest race in the Breeders' Cup today, to be honest. I really don't like it. So in the chat, just FYI, I did not really like the cards today, Chris. So I'm kind of like, even though I being at home wouldn't play BCBC, obviously, but I wouldn't have liked it. Like, I didn't like it today. I did like the 12-1 the last race. That was about it. I don't even really like the next race. I think, Jonathan Way, Oldie wins the race sim. So it is also the long shot. And you also just told me that the guy who's sitting on the screen likes this horse. So that makes me a lot more confident in a play like that in a race like this. I didn't hear Dave's comment really on the Japan, the 9, but I had already cut it. I cut the 3, I cut the 8. I just didn't even look at him. I looked, but I think that, you have your perspective here and you're kind of on the Bafferts. I thought Nooney was going to run a big race earlier, and was fine and flew off. And you see what happened. It doesn't really matter. Right. But, I also, and this is where you all always, I'm assuming that the track is extremely still speed favoring on the dirt, correct?
It's been played pretty fair today. So
he's right.
That they put sand in the dirt a couple days ago.
The tide has been in. The tide is that low tide. I don't know. I saw Bruno's comment that there's moisture in the air, and I love San Diego, and there probably is. If it looks very sunny though, so it looks like an absolutely beautiful day.
It's cool in the mornings with a lot of moisture. Hello, Jen. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Hope you got squared up with the ticket for tomorrow.
And probably just for, as David says, entertainment for me. I didn't have a big preference here. I'm down with little Chancer McPatrick, Jonathan Way, probably exacta. I don't know what odds I'm going to get, but when I looked at this, and you and I've watched Chancer race, and I said, Chancer can't win from that post at Aqueduct, and Chancer won and Chancer won easy. So I think that Chancer McPatrick actually is legit for Chad. I really do. I think Jonathan Way with the long shot, and I'm getting 5-1 and wins the race sim. It's probably for me. I think Easton Avenue is a legit horse too. I think I kind of saw it probably as I narrowed between the 1, 5, 10. I was off the Bafferts Oldie, but I can see your perspective. So, probably an order would be not really preference, 5-10, 5-10. And then I do think East Avenue probably run a good race, but.
Justin, your 5-10 blended exacta box gets you about 11-1.
Okay. Yeah. That's fine. I hope we might get a little better. It might float up. That's something to watch. I'd play this for that. We still have 20 minutes to post. If if early money has that at 11-1, I even like it better, especially if it floats up. So.
All right, pressing up here at 726. You guys want to keep going on Del Mar?
Yeah, I'll add while we're on Del Mar.
There we go, Dave.
I'll just add that I love Jonathan's Way here. First, I'll go to East Avenue. I mean, very impressive 2 starts, right? However, if we were watching that, I believe I was on with you, gents, the day of that East Avenue went wire to wire. That was an impressive race, but believe the track was rather speed favoring that day. So now the inside post, Tyler's going to gun. Getaway Car is also quite speedy. So there's that horse is going to be on the lead. And I think Jonathan and Citizen Bull is not slow. But I think Jonathan's Way can rate. What I was most impressed with the 5 Jonathan's Way was his first start. This horse got off terribly out of the gate and then was rushed up and then almost checked again. And then I'm like, oh, this horse is done. And then the horse got into another gear and just drew off rather easily. Very, very impressive race. And then the second start in the Iroquois, I just thought it was a nice, easy race for this horse. And considering that Jonathan's Way got out slow to the gate, I know it was only a 6 furlong race, but got off slow and did rush up and then almost was shut down a second time and then rallied again and had a ton. I just think this horse is very, very talented. I don't think Jonathan's Way needs to necessarily be on the lead. I think this horse can stalk and get first run on the tiring speed. I don't know if East Avenue is going to. I think it's going to take too much pressure. And the other horse that I'm interested in, I'll talk about Chancellor McPatrick first. The impression I get, guys, from this horse is, especially with the outside post, based on how this horse made up so much ground in these sprint races and one-turn races. I just think this might be a mile, one-turn horse that is probably going to run in a Met Mile next year. That's just my impression. I could be wrong. And at that price, I think I would pass with that outside post. The other horse I think I want to use, Justin, is the 4 Ferocious. This horse is really green in basically all of its starts. If you watch that race, the Chancellor McPatrick race, this horse is all over the track against East Ave. Fractures going in the gate, even the first start off slow. So I'm not sure you're not going to get a clean trip again. The horse may have improved and won't be green, but don't forget, this is a $1.3 million purchase. So I would definitely use the 4 somewhere along the line.
I mean, the GSR is massive, David. I mean, that horse is bred all day.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an interesting price. I mean, how Castellano rides Delgado as, I mean, this is a nice horse. Yeah, I like your Jonathan's Way angle. You're getting 6-1. I mean, there's a lot of speed here. It's like, and is it speed for this race?
I got you. But I'm going under the premise, Justin, that the 5 can rate.
No, yeah. I'm with you. Yeah, no, I think that's I'm agreeing with you more to, I know Oldie's perspective on the Baffert side. So yeah, that's right. You and I think see it pretty. I love it, and 5-4 exacta would be amazing. Like anything you can key on the 5, I think is huge at a price of 6-1. Like.
What do you think
Ferocious at 9-1? I'm sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
Yes.
What do you guys think about the third Baffert, the 6, Citizen Bull? That's the biggest price of all the Bafferts, 13-1. Horse there.
Getaway Car is the biggest price of all the Bafferts.
Yeah.
The 2.
I mean, and look at the morning line on Getaway Car. I mean,
I was looking at the E morning line. It's 6-1. Citizen Bull was 7-1. 13-1. That's usually how I look at the Bafferts there. And then this race also, guys, if you really want a wager, you can do this into the Classic tomorrow. There is a separate double just for this 200.
Oh, I love that bet. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And like the lowest price I'm seeing right now, as I look on the board, is 15-1 with a 1-9 double, and then a 10-9 double is 21-1. But there are plenty over here that are in.
Hey, no, what's it pay into Forever Young?
Which horse?
The one
the
horse.
5.
The 5
the
into
one.
the 1?
Yes.
22-1.
What's it pay into Tappage Rice, the 10?
268-1.
Okay.
I was going to
Thanks.
figure, yeah, that horse is going to be over 30-1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
to sum it up, I'm going to use the 5 with the 4 in here.
For sure. I could see that absolutely. And then if you look to the classic, like, who's your classic horse?
That's the good question. I think that race is so wide open that I want. I believe that there's not a ton of speed in this race, and I think that Arthur's Ride is going to be on the lead it's going to gun from the outside post. I think it was, believe the numbers I had were 12-1. Forever Young was the second horse, and my strategy here on this 2-day Breeders' Cup is to weed out some long shots so I can hit the board. So I have a couple of penciled in, and Newgate is the one I want for third or fourth in my exotics. So I'm going to use my picks for 12-1-13 in the Breeders' Cup Classic.
12-1-13. So 12-1. And then in this race here, you were
5-4. Right.
5-4.
Yeah, emphasis on the 5, but I will take the 4. The way that I will approach this is I will make a larger win wager on the 5. I will back it up with a smaller wager on the 4, doubles that are going to be smaller denominations to the next race. But I prefer the 5 on top because I'll have more wagers on that, more denomination on that horse.
Yeah, doubles to the 12 with your 4 and 5 aren't bad either. 92-1 and 76-1.
And I also like a long shot a couple of long shots in the 10th at Del Mar, so I'm going to use the 2 and the 3. So I'm going to try to hit a big score here with a couple of long shots in the next race. Yeah.
All right.
I see Matt Miller made it to third in the BCBC. Okay.
Hey, what did he play? Wait, hold on.
I've got to confirm that. I got to look on the.
He
they're coming
played.
on.
He played.
He played a
versus Lake Victoria.
Oh,
yeah.
Double.
That's what I assumed he did. That makes sense. Like,
yeah.
$5,000.
I could see that. That's that's 1,000% Matt Miller play. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chris, think about how much more you would have gotten on your double if it wasn't for Matt playing that.
That's okay. $5,000 was the
Wait,
all-in.
yeah. See, now he gets really dangerous too now because he has a lot of firepower, and that's just going to make him really dangerous.
Yeah.
Yes.
Evan is just cooling his heels. Matt's second ticket is out, but you can see he climbed from 229th to third. I don't think that he has. I think he has one more minimum to play. I'm not.
The Crazy Brothers in the chat
That's Derek.
That's what I thought. Okay, yeah, that's why I was asking.
Derek's sitting at 57, 10 left. So he's been just sort of playing minimums.
Did he decide it was better to go more relaxed and play?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'd recommend that to him.
Brad is at 11,730 on one ticket and 6,900 on the second. So he's got one more. He has
wait, what'd you say Brad has?
Ticket 1 is 6,900. Ticket 2 is 11,730. So
nice.
Yeah, he's in good spot right now. He's got a few more minimums to play in the last 2 races. I don't.
And I will just, one thing I wanted to add, guys. I was just watching the post parade, and I don't pretend to be any equestrian expert on conformation and form, but Ferocious looked fantastic to me on the track.
Did he look ferocious though?
He looked very ferocious and fantastic. Yes.
All right, 9 minutes to go here with the post parade.
You walked me right into the gate on that one, David.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, there you go. So now you know which path it's going.
Is Scotty still alive?
Scotty.
He one ticket's gone, and I think the other one was did he go all in on that race?
He's at 6,300 with 1 minimum. He's got 2 minimums here to play. Ticket number 1 is done.
Okay.
So if gaming wins here, does IRAD forego any Chad Brown or Pletcher horses in favor of taking a Baffert ride to the Derby possibly?
I think it's a long way to go before they're going to decide what they want to do. He's going to get his choice to ride any of these. They'll be spaced out. He'll be able to ride all of them, and he'll make a decision as it gets closer. And if one of those horses are scratched at the Derby at that week, then he'll ride the second choice, no matter who the jockey is.
So that they had up on the screen that Baffert said that Citizen Bull is a need the lead type. So that tells you which Baffert's going here.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna. Oh, I was just gonna. What Nooney went 22 and 44.
Yeah, insane.
I was like, I was watching. I think I was at a meeting, and I looked up and I was like, "Where's the fractions?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's just flying."
And if non-compliant was there, it would have probably set up nicely for non-compliant too.
Mm-hmm.
The other Baffert who has several times run into a Nooney crazy pace like that. So, but it just, there was really nobody else other than Immersive running late there. So, let's go ahead and run the race sim because we haven't run it for the folks watching out there yet. I will say also that East Avenue got an easy lead that day in Keeneland because horses 2 through 4, where there was some other speed, all crashed into each other at the start. Because we were on there.
Yeah, I don't think the one's getting the setup. Now, the horse was impressive, no doubt. The East Avenue, but it could be the real deal. But you got to show me you can with that speed. I think East Avenue to me has to wire the field, where Jonathan's Way I think could be a little more rateable.
Well,
David,
that's
what the race sim thinks.
Well, no, Oli, that's what I was just gonna say. That's why I absolutely love the 5 Jonathan's Way now. You know what I mean? I mean, it just the way, because I just think there's too much speed, and if that horse is able to just essentially just trip out and rate, like, game over, and at 6-1, that's why I was asking about, and Chris's, I think your comment from a betting standpoint into the Classic, this is a great bet. Like, I mean, I didn't like this race, but if you're getting 6-1 on a horse like Jonathan's Way, it's just a Scotty long shot and wins the race sim, like, it's, for me, that's massive value for me to bet. Like, you're going to get good value to horses, and you get to watch the Classic and hopefully be alive. Right. So.
And I would be tempted if I was in the BCBC, gentlemen. I would have been tempted, and I did look at it a long time before. I tried to qualify on horse play as a horse tourney. I had to make a decision: am I going to buy Am I going to pay for the entry, right? And I wasn't comfortable with the double setups, the way the races were changed, because my strategy on these would be, huge doubles, but probably longer price horses than Matt Miller would use.
Yeah.
But I would have anticipated going all in on Jonathan's Way. Now, it wouldn't have helped me because with the prior race, because I wouldn't have used Lake Victoria with a huge double. I just didn't feel comfortable with that. So right now I would have had, that's how much I like the horse.
Yeah.
So I would have been busted out on day one or moving on. So,
Well, that's not a bad strategy either, because putting up a number in these events too is also something that not a lot of people do. And when you force people to make decisions on how they're going to chase you, you make them uncomfortable. It's like betting a large amount on the turn when somebody has kings and there's an ace on the flop.
Right. And my strategy originally, if and one more time made it into the Breeders' Cup prior race against Victoria Lake, I was going to go with a $1,500 double and one more time and Jonathan's Way. And then we would have seen where we were. If not, then I would go all in on the $5,500, would have been $6,000 straight to win on Jonathan's Way. That would have been my one-day bust out in the BCBC.
Yeah.
And to me, like maybe the strategy also might be a Jonathan's Way into Menti in the next.
Oh no, I'm going Jonathan's Way with Dream On and Noble Confessor, trying to really bust open and I think I'm a wise guy. I was looking to have a bankroll after day one of 90,000. That would have been my because I was going to go all in for a huge score on day one. So we'll see. We'll see how Jonathan's Way does. So
Who are you on in the next, David? The final race?
I have two long shots I like. The 2 Dream On, Mark Cassie, and the 3 Noble Confessor for Todd Pletcher off the first turf start in the Pilgrim on a very boggy, yielding course where I thought that horse was best. And I think this horse, the Quality Road, just is going to be got a lot of talent and is going to be a very, very good 3-year-old next year.
Awesome. Justin, final thoughts as we get out here to the gate?
I don't have thoughts into the daily double in the last because I don't really like that race either. But so
double thought.
But we'll talk about that race in a little bit. I just it's what I love about this show, to be honest. You just get to listen to great handicappers and a perspective on a race. But I'm with Mr. David Harrison. I am Jonathan's Way all day here. I probably am playing into Chancer. I'd probably box them as a saver, but I'm playing Jonathan's Way on top into, you told me about that classic bet. So I'm playing it into what we talked about, which is Forever Young and Tapit Rice. So I think that's it. Just a little exact. I played a win bet on the 5 as well. Jonathan's Way.
Going into the gate here, guys.
Good luck, everybody.
Okay, good luck, everybody.
Who is the first one to go into the gate? Citizen Bull goes in. Here's Getaway Car. Gaming. Hill Road. Shin Believe, one of the 2 Japanese runners in the gate. Ferocious about to come forward. Ferocious going in. Jonathan's Way.
There are 2 back.
And Chancer McPatrick.
Can you get it done for post 10? Good luck, everybody.
Oh,
Yeah, East Avenue.
Stumbled.
Yeah.
That's game over. That's brutal.
And Getaway Car just lets Citizen Bull in.
So the Bob Baffert horses 1, 2, 3 into the turn. Jonathan's Way and Ferocious are next. Then a Cora Wazelle. A break of another 2.5 lengths more to Chancer.
He's got 2 blocking backs there.
Early on.
Yeah.
Distaff looks a little uncomfortable in the early stages here. Now being passed by Shin Believe. And
I'm hoping the horse isn't hurt. It was a pretty bad stumble.
Citizen Bull makes the pace.
I think he's okay.
Quarters of a length behind. And then to the outside.
Rosario's strangling the 5.
First quarter mile, 23.44. It was
Wow.
realistic. They're not rolling right along up front. Getaway Car is 4th and down on the inside.
Now he's gonna go in between horses.
Yeah, no, he's not. The horse
That
doesn't
sounds
wanna
like
go
Rosario.
And Ferocious. East Avenue and Chancer McPatrick are side by side, and they're 7 lengths behind Citizen Bull. Hill Road is the trailer. 47.89 was an easy.
He's
half
too busy
mile.
messing with
And
his
now
goggles
the
now. I
field
better
is
get
on
going.
Yeah.
Where it is still
My
Oh,
God,
yeah.
Joel.
Come on, Joel.
2. A Cora Wazelle. Shin Believe is moved up on the outside. Getaway Car is at the rail, and the others have plenty of work to do as they come toward the top of the stretch. Citizen Bull.
Speed in a hole big
Yeah,
time.
yeah. I thought that.
Good call, Oldie.
They're into the stretch. Citizen Bull.
6
in
gone.
front, trying to take him all the way, and he kicks away.
7 not
Citizen
getting
Bull
there.
by 2.
Go.
Look at that's a Baffert try maybe if the 2 can hang on.
So I have the double
6,
into
7,
the
2.
neck.
I
had a,
7-3.
so I had a win bet there, double to the
3.
next, and I have a double to Fierceness and Forever Young tomorrow.
Good call, Oldie. Very good
Yeah, well
call.
done, man. That's amazing.
I have some of that
No,
as well. Not all that, Oldie, but I'm on the 1, 6, 7, 12 tomorrow off that 6.
I mean, I was wrong. I've been right on the dirt races, wrong on the turf races so far.
And
And
the weird
I
thing
told
is,
anybody-
right?
Anybody that would listen that we were all overlooking the Baffords, and that was a huge mistake here on Wednesday's show. No, nobody was really listening, but because I'm just talking to myself a lot of times with Chris listening when I'm talking, but
Well, I know that was a win bet for somebody we know, Oldie. That was a minimum race. That was 600 to win on Citizen Bull.
I mean, the moment East Avenue tripped out of the gate and Getaway Car just let Citizen Bull
Mhm.
over to have the lead.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
you are right
And-
there. That was like, and I think I said game over for the 1, which and then
Yeah.
it made it easy. I think that it definitely they went. I don't know about the time, but you can see there. When we were talking about it, I was wondering, like, there was no chance anybody was going to close there. Oldie, like, you were like, this is amazing. But hey, that's a great call, man. Good job, buddy.
Yeah.
6,
Great
1,
call.
2. That will 6,
And
7.
look at this triple. Look at this triple. You got the 60 to 1 shot third. So you got 15 to 1 over 6 to 1 over 60 to 1. So I don't know if that might blow up the BCBC leaderboard, but and the only thing I'll say, and I'm not a jockey, I don't criticize jockeys too often, but that's the one thing I was worried about with Joel, Justin, that especially when the 1 doesn't get out of the gate, I think you got a gun. I think he has to go with that Baffert horse, and I don't even know if he realized that. The rating.
I mean, literally lets him in right
strangled.
there. Literally.
If you watch the replay, that horse was being strangled, and the other speed didn't get out. So again, to me, that was very bad judgment on his part.
Because he
And
could have
then he
gave it
put
like
himself
two,
in a
two-
position where he has both him too.
But he could have, I think, David, because you talked about this, he could have just went and tried to sit right off the speed, right?
Yeah, he could, right.
And fine, because you talked about the 2 or the Getaway Car, just I got to take back and give the 6 this kind of easy lead. But if Joel goes there, he's going to put a lot more pace into the race and has the potential to rate off the pace. And I think to your point, he pulled back, he choked the horse, and there was, the race was totally done. So, yeah.
Right. He's thinking there's a lot of speed, and I'm thinking I agree that it needs to rate, but once you see the 1 who's the main speed, who would have really went with Citizen Bull, I believe, that you've got to then call, pivot and say, hey, there's not the 1 got off slow. I'm going, right?
Yeah. And and you cannot allow yourself to be trapped behind
Yeah.
behind
And then
two.
strangling and then fixing your goggles 3 times.
Yeah, he did monkey with the goggles a number of times for sure.
Right.
Baffert and Garcia are like, they don't ride often for each other anymore because Bob doesn't ride a lot in Kentucky or the East Coast, but they're 40% before this. Citizen Bowl, Garcia had ridden it twice to both wins. So it was kind of a smart move. This was back in Del Mar in August, and then again in early October. But
Well, and if you
for
look
Bob
at,
Baffert is always a good number.
let me see if I can find the Citizen Bull gaming work. So that they had worked together on October 14th, with Bull being a little better late, which was basically what we saw in this race.
Right.
So, I was fairly confident that when it was the two of them and nobody else was really all that close to them, that it was going to probably play out that way.
Yeah, and when you look at the double odds there, with the 1 into the 6 here, who paid 33.80, that ended up paying 21 to 1. The trifecta paid $2,900 for $1, and a $71 exacta 6-7. So plenty of prices. $108,000 super high 5 for 50 cents. If you found a way to get that 3 1/3 with the other 2 Baffords.
I'm also alive. I got to look up my pick 4 because I did not play all my horses in the last leg. Let's see. It was, hold on. Breeders' Cup pick 4. I'm 1, 4, 5, 10 in the last in the pick 4. So if I pull up let's see if we have the will pays yet. Yeah, we do. Here we go. No, I'm looking at that. Let me refresh that we don't want Lake Victoria will pays there.
We do have one more 2-day double than the last race at Del Mar.
Turf to turf.
Into the turf tomorrow, highlighted by Rebel's Romance.
I just don't have a strong enough opinion
on this first race.
On this race in either race, really. I mean, Rebel's Romance is the only horse I like, but that he's so wide in that race, and we talked about that a little yesterday about how I like the 6 also, the American horse, but it's just not a very good rendition of the turf. So I'll probably sit out that double.
I love the 4. I love the 4 in this race. We talked about it on the preview show.
So I'm alive to the 1, 4, 5, and 10 in the pick 4.
Oh no, I was talking about the daily double. Chris, that plays into the turf race tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I believe I'm alive for $5 to Menti on the double as well. So Menti is my best case scenario here, both from a pick 4 and a double standpoint.
Menti
and Menti.
Fletcher horse stretching out from 6 to stretching out of that from the futurity.
And even so, you had Bomb, favorite, or heavy favorite, let's say favorite, heavy favorite, Bomb, and the lowest will pay on the pick 5 is about $5,000. No, I'm sorry, about 4,600. on the far outside to Henry Matisse, who was another horse that Aidan O'Brien didn't exactly have rosy things to say about.
He did not.
What did he say?
He doesn't really know with this horse. He put blinkers on it. That was a mistake. The horse has a habit of, so you know how the horse in the Derby like veers left in the stretch.
Yeah.
This horse veers right in the stretch.
Mhm.
And they put blinkers on to try to correct it, and it made it worse.
Now, which horse, Oldie, which horse is that from?
Henry Matisse, the 13.
I mean, the system kind of loves that horse a little bit, but David's 2-horse Dream On is nearly wins the race sim.
Yeah. Now, if the one thing I noticed here, the Europeans aren't going to be gunning in this race. It's a mile race. The 2 should have the lead, right? So I think the 2 is going to be real tough here. And it was in the race in the summer, the Grade 1 at Woodbine, where the 11 in this race, New Century, beat the 4 Al Quadra, Charlie Appleby horse. And this horse is the one who was in the contested pace and got fried from the 1 post. And if you look, I'm looking at the fractions there. And if you noticed in the Talma, they went 23-1, I believe, for the first quarter. This one, this summer, Grade 1, they went 22-3. So it was even a faster pace. And this horse still hung on for a pretty game third, only 2 lengths beaten. So I think with a little bit of an easier pace here, this 2 could be on the engine for a long time. And I really was impressed with the 3 in the Pilgrim. The first time turf is my move. This horse is well bred for turf, quality road. That was a boggy, yielding turf course with a ton of water in it. And Zulu Kingdom just barely held on Chad Brown's horse. And to me, Noble Confessor was best at almost 7-1 in that race. And I think this horse has potential. I'd like to see what he can do on a firm turf course. And I think it's going to be good things. I get that, especially at 28-1. I'm liking the price. So I'm just going to go with the 2 and the 3 here, trying to get a little ballsy.
Well,
Nice.
I will tell you that in the defense of Al Quadra, Dream On apparently gave a significant bump/foul to Al Quadra, from what I understand, in that race at Woodbine when the horse ran out of gas, and likely cost Al Quadra that race that New Century won. I don't know whether Dream On's going to get an easy lead with Menti here, or if Menti's going to just try to sit right off like he did in the that turf sprint. But I will tell you that I haven't heard Pletcher, but I did hear Rapoli, and he fancies this horse a lot.
Hold on a second. I'm just taking it back. You're telling me. Hold on a second. Mike Rapoli fancies one of his horses? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I also say that Menti is full to fierceness. And the other thing I heard about this, it's another Rapoli thing. Rapoli, I don't know if you saw this today, challenged Aidan O'Brien to a match race on turf between Fierceness and City of Troy.
What?
Because he believes that Fierceness would have loved the turf.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Rapoli is the same. Now, again, I've met Mike Rapoli at the Eclipse Awards. It was rather cordial. I have no problem with Mike, but sometimes, he does love his horses a little too much. But He's the one that put was that maiden in the Travers and is running, and he loved that horse too. And yeah, Menti could be. You're right.
Yeah.
To me, there's two speeds, the 2 and the 10, right? So if Johnny decides to gun and say, I'm going to get into a speed duel, I want to take the lead, so and try to take the lead over the 2, I think Jose will probably relent and give him that lead because Jose's not as aggressive. He will rate a little more. And I'm just not sure that Dream On can rate. So it'll be interesting. Hopefully they don't go, if they get into a speed duel, I think it might set up for the 3 and the 4 and also Zulu Kingdom. So we'll see. It'll be interesting how but there's not a ton of speed. To me, there's only 2 speeds here.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I had Menti been in the turf sprint, which is where I actually wanted him. That would have been a back up the truck opportunity to me.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with you. I think this horse.
I think they put him in the wrong race. It sounds like you do too.
Yeah. I'm not sure Celia Light that this horse really wants to go this. Maybe a mile, but definitely not a mile on the 16th. But yeah.
Now, do we want to play? Well, Chris is gone, but right now. But do we want to play Dave Duncan's thoughts on this race next here, or Justin? Do you have some additional thoughts?
Yeah, you guys handicapped it, I think, pretty well, so I won't comment too much. I think the speed is there, in my opinion. I do think that it's that the Dream On is there at the finish is kind of what confuses me on the race sim. So I think that's the only thing that I'm like, okay, I don't really like Menti. I think the pace here is not all that great. I'm not sure what to do with Waco Kid the 9. I don't think that horse can win. The odds that you're getting versus EquinEdge is insane. Like you're getting 37-1 currently off of EquinEdge morning line of 6-1. But so then I'm like, well, I start looking at, El Quadra, Seagulls, 11 and Zulu Kingdom, and then the Euros, really, to be honest, Oldie. I think you provided some information on Henry Matisse, like that's helpful. And I'm looking at the Scotty picks in the 11 and 12, really, on the Euros. I think El Quadro and Zulu Kingdom are players in there too. Chad, Flavian are on Zulu Kingdom, 3 for 3. I mean, quite impressive. US, the GSR drops, but it was one a grade 2 and a grade 3, right, in New York. So, but I ultimately landed on the Euro side, Oldie, and the 11. It's a top Scotty pick in New Century, but I'd be playing. I also think the 12 as a price underneath. I probably play a little bit with the 12 as well, but that was right. I landed on the 11 and 12, really on my top picks would be how I looked at this. I think both will have some pace. I think the race sim loves the 11. It has it winning coming from obviously one in Woodbine in that race this summer that we've talked about. So, but I do think the 12 for William and Charlie, like I'm not sure I trust the pace up front. This horse in as well as the 11 are well bred. They're well met, I think, for this race. So
I would, one other horse I'm going to implore everybody to consider on the win bet line, and that's Seagull's 11. So my notes here say that Seagull's 11 was mugged by Henry Matisse in a race that he could have easily won. Is super sneaky, has tactical speed, and is not a poor breaker like most of the other European horses, has a chance to sit a solid stalking trip versus the other Euro closers.
I think you're right, Oldie. I was a buddy of mine who is EquinEdge user. He's alive in the pick 4 as well. He has like the 7. He has the 7, I guess my comment. So, I think he sees it the same way. I mean, and I think in a race like this, that's where I just, and Oli, remind me what you're alive to.
I'm alive to the 1, the 4, 5, and 10.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think you can, it's people go a lot of ways. That's right. I just thought again on the races today, this is a tough one. So
Yeah.
Very tough race. Very, very tough race.
Justin, you were sticking with the 4 here.
no, I'm playing the 11 and the 12.
11 by 12.
Yeah.
2 Century.
New Century, who you definitely, won the
If anybody can get the trip from that post, Justin, it's Ryan Moore, for sure.
Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, you have a scratch inside and you have a lot of speed. So, I mean, there's not, to David's point, there's 2 horses that are speed. If one of them don't go, everybody else in trouble. So there's obviously that situation. I think that's where I also, David, your comments on Dream On at that price, I like that as well. Is like, if something happens or if Jose is able to rate or something and it's speed favoring here, I like the price more on the 2, because I think you're right, David. I mean, Johnny V probably sending. If Johnny get the lead, Jose gonna probably let him get the lead. So
Right. And I think the 3 Noble Confessor is, this horse is not going to be that far back based on that first race. This horse, it was a slow pace, but it was a very boggy turf course. So I think on a firmer course, which is going to be much firmer, that this horse may have a little more speed than we think. So I think this horse could be stalking 3rd, 4th, or 5th going into the first turn. So we'll see. But I might be making a critical mistake here by using 2 U.S. horses with on a Grade 1 turf race with all these Euros coming in. And I remember one Breeders' Cup. I actually told Scotty last year, I'm like, I'm just tired of getting beat by Charlie Appleby horses and Ada O'Brien horses, so I'm just using them. That's it. I'm done. So I might, hopefully, I don't have the same reaction after this race. But sometimes you just got to go with your gut. And I'm always more comfortable with horses that I've watched, and I've watched Noble Confessor, I've watched Dream On, and obviously the Euros can beat me, but that's why they call it gambling, right?
Yep,
it is. Yes.
Hey, Justin and Oldie, just an interesting programming note. I was just scrolling, and I noticed the track we went to while we were visiting Keeneland, Century Mile. They kick off tonight with their harness program at 9:30 p.m. Eastern.
That's Red Mile.
Oh, the Red Mile, Century Mile.
The Red Mile.
Yep.
Yeah, we went to Red Mile, not Century Mile. Anyway.
Do you want me to play the racing down, the last racing downwind clip for the day here?
Sure, we got plenty of time.
All right. Give me a second to get that shared out.
Good luck, Rory. Marco likes the 4, 6, and 11. We'll be back with you tomorrow in the 2 o'clock hour. I don't think
we turn our attention to Friday, last race of the day, the breed.
Oldie, we lost
Juvenile Turf. I hear you have an opinion or 2 on this one. Tell us.
Yeah, I think this is a very good race. I think I know we got some really good Europeans in here. We've got a lot of Ireland-bred horses. My big concern about this race is it looks like most of the competition is on the far outside, which might set something up for down on the inside. The Japanese horse in hole 1, which is Santo Carnival, is a descendant, I think, of Deep Impact. So it's got that Sunday Silence on the male side, and then the mare comes out of the European side. so is full of turf influence on the female side. And I think this horse is going to get the trip, which is very good for Del Mar, being that on the turf course, you want to be close to the rail as possible and stay on the rail as long as possible and make one run and sneak up the rail. And this is that type of horse setting in a position with the breeding that could do that. Of course, the European horses on the outside, you got Henry, you got Omori City. And that's an interesting one too, number 12 Omori City, because that's actually named after a city in northern Japan, and not too far from the Russian area of area up there by the Bering Sea area. But I think New Century coming out of Woodbine ran a very, very good race. The horse that ran second had a little bit of interference in the stretch, but I still think that New Century was going to win that race, rallying from the outside. The distance on this race, I think, fits up really well for most of these horses to make one really strong run in a turf mile. I could see 4, 5, or 6 horses winning this race, and I think you could see a price in this race.
Fair enough. Oldie, any questions?
Yeah, so I'm also very interested in Centennial Carnival, and I did, in the races I watched and the data I had, I thought he had a little bit of tactical speed too, which I think is an advantage at Del Mar. But I think Dream On, the 2 right to his outside, is the speed. So I think he's going to get a great break. Where do you think ideally he's going to set?
I think if he could set third on the rail and just stay there all the way around, and once a hole opens up, shoot up the rail, or maybe move off a path or two as they turn for home, and get the first run on these European horses that are going to be deep closers coming from the back of the field that are going to get swung 5, 6, 7 wide into the stretch. And if he gets the jump and gets clear selling, you could have a horse that's going to pay a big number, similar to what the 2 filly and mares did at Del Mar in 21.
Yeah. What do you think of the Chad Brown Zulu Kingdom, who's a French horse, actually?
Yeah, I'm not sure that Chad has the horses this year for the Breeders' Cup on the turf. I know that there was some issues with regards to the race that's being ran at 1 3/8, and he didn't bring his top crop to run in it because he felt the race was too short for his type of horses. The 1 1/4 would have suited that better. But at 1 mile, I mean, it's hard to knock Chad Brown and Flavian Pratt as a team since they've been coming together for the last 2 years. They've won a lot of races. I think the other one that's interesting in here is the the full brother to Fierceness. Is that right? And Minty. So
Yes, correct.
what's he going to do? I mean, he may just go out there and just go as fast as he can for as long as he can. And if he steals a race, he steals a race. But does that set it up for these Europeans that are going to be deep closers? That's the interesting thing. I still haven't come up with my final opinions on this race. I want to watch a few more videos over the next, day and a half, and then make my opinion before I post my selections in the grid.
All right. That will wrap us up with the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. Lots of ways to go here.
So should we take a look at the leaderboard?
Do we have an update here? I think we do, and I can share that with everyone here. After race 9, we're at race 10. Let me share this out. There we go. Evan's still at the top with an early score, 1 minimum to go. Jose Santos, I believe.
A huge jump.
Yeah, 519 to second place. Matt Miller holding strong in third off that $5,000 double. He has 1 minimum to play. It's well. So Nicholas, he's done for the day if he wants to be. He's played his 3 minimums. Number of people here in the top that as well.
There's Tim Oler there too, 25,000.
Yeah, he's played his 3 minimums. He can rest easy. I think Brad's down here. He's played 3. He's got 15,008 on one, and I believe he has a decent balance on the other one. Lots of people still within striking.
There's Brad. Brad is 11,730.
He's in positive territory in both entries.
That's good. Nice.
Yeah, and he's got to play a minimum here in this last race on this ticket here. So 600.
And unless he changed his strategy, I think he's sitting in good position for what he told me he plans to do tomorrow. So.
Yep. It's no. We know what the plan for tomorrow is. It's not rocket science, but
I think Scotty tapped out on both.
Nope, sure did.
Yeah.
I talked to him earlier. He just missed the trifecta in one of the early races. He would have been monster.
Yeah, he was all over it. I just checked it out. He was all over Chancellor McPatrick in the last race. Yeah. With Jonathan's Way, I think, of Exacta or something. Yeah, I did look at.
Yeah, there we go. They got 7 more minimums tomorrow.
7 or 6?
7. 10 total.
10 total, right.
Okay, Aldi, I'm going to go back to you.
All right.
All right, we got 7 minutes to post, and the favorite right now is the 5 Zulu Kingdom at 4-1. When you see a favorite at 4-1, you know the race is wide open, right?
Yeah.
Then you got a couple of 9-2s. The Euros are taking all the money. The 11 is 9-2. The 12, the 13 is 9-2. Henry Matisse. Next, we've got the 4 at 5-1, who is Al Quadra.
You know how many people that I heard, well, let's say Scottish and Irish and English, calling the Waco kid the Wacko kid and having to be corrected. That I heard that multiple times on breakfast with the Breeders' Cup this week, which I'll miss in the mornings when I get up and on the days I'm not that busy first thing in the morning. So that was a nice week-long thing to have. But let's go ahead and watch the race sim because we haven't done that yet here.
Right. And by the way, Sylvan, I am surprised at the odds of the 1 Santono Carnaval. Morning line 20-1 is taking a ton of money. Is right now 9-1. So who knows what that Japanese horse is? Yeah, I think it's a lot of Japanese money.
There was a lot of buzz on that horse.
Yeah.
There's a belief that might be the next Japanese superstar turf horse.
And I just listened to a quick spot with Todd Pletcher. And he thinks the 3 Noble Confessors is going to absolutely love the firm ground. And he didn't really like the yielding course where he finished second, barely lost the Grade 2 Pilgrim. And he believes Menti is going to love the mile distance. So this is your exacta. Todd Pletcher exacta against all these Euros. But what's Menti now? It's 9-1.
Yep.
Yeah, and Todd's usually pretty. You can usually tell what he thinks.
Yeah,
he's not a hold his cards in type guy.
No, I like that where he thinks Noble Confessor's going to like the firm turf a lot more than the yielding. When I'm looking at a Todd Pletcher horse with Tyler Gaffleone on at 25-1, right? So I can't. I'm never going to turn that down.
No. Iron Man.
We were actually on that Pletcher horse in a pick 4, pick 5 that day on that yielding course too.
Yeah, I was all over. That's one of my moves. First time on the turf against horses that have spotty form, and just looking at the breeding, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I was all over. I was a little concerned with the yielding course. I thought the horse ran really game. I think this horse has a bright future.
What do you think it's going to take to win the BCBC tomorrow, Chris? Justin,
140, 100 to 160, somewhere in there. I'm more interested in what you guys think about Ironman Cal here for local horse, Phil, Brashew. Obviously stepping up here.
I didn't think all that much of this horse. The West Coast horses just on the turf haven't run very well historically, and the one we've seen so far didn't do all that well either.
Sure. All right.
It's only 1%. It actually runs fairly well on the race sim. You can see there. I mean, I don't know. It would have to be an underneath for me, Chris. Like I mean, if I was to use it all, it wouldn't be. But there, I don't know. Yeah, I'm on the 11 and 12. I like the top 2 Scotty picks. I kind of am. I'm liking them more as I've looked at this race. So
I think we got Scotty in the chat.
That was me. I posted that. I was answering Marco in there because I didn't want him to get confused. Marco, it's 2 days. That's why you feel like it's low because you still got a lot more races tomorrow.
Yeah, the nobody typically historically fires big in the first day. These numbers are pretty consistent with what you see in here, and 140 to 160 tomorrow is probably the number to hit. Somewhere in there, I think it kind of just creeps up a little bit year after year. Really, it's just like Brad hit he hit a minimum in the last race, $600 on the 6 horse, right? Paid him like, I don't know, 17,000 or whatever it was. That's a good way to use a minimum. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
Because you get a fair return back. And he's healthy on both tickets. So he's got a lot of options. And at some point in time, those tickets will divert. One will go one way and one will go another if they, one of them succeeds and he'll be down to 1. That's what Matt already did, is that he diverted there and he's got to the number he wanted to get at today. And he's going to stick to whatever his plan is to get to whatever his number is.
Right.
And next week when he gets back, we're going to release all the videos that he and I did. There were like 4 or 5 of them where he developed a plan. Like, this is the number. I have to find out how to get there and then where we were. And it'll be interesting to see if there was any diversion from the plan, because he was ready for somebody like Scotty to hit something huge trifecta for 200 grand. Like, okay, well then what do I do now?
You mean on day one?
Get that day one, or like, David, you show up with 90,000 day one. But
going in the gate, fellas, for the
Yep, they're starting to load in. The favorite
final
is Zulu
day.
Kingdom at 7-2.
I'm pretty surprised about that.
Who
I think that's probably the Chad Brown factor there.
Yeah, and look at it this way, Oldie.
Gate here.
Zulu Kingdom only beat Noble Confessor by a neck, and Zulu Kingdom 7-2, and I'm getting 25-1 on Noble Confessor. Okay, I'll take that every day of the week.
Yeah.
And now you get three, of course. All right. The more that I think about this, the more that I like the three.
Next up will be Dream On.
Just need the 2 or the 3 to hit the board for me. Good luck, everybody.
Yeah, you too. Marco, yes, I'll be there in February.
Confessor coming forward.
Or
with
March,
Ben
whenever
King.
it is.
New Century. Moving into line.
All right, let's see what happens, fellas.
Yeah, good luck, everybody. Lots of veterinarians around. We all know that.
Yomori City goes in. Zulu Kingdom is in. And now the last two to load are Iron Man Cal and Henri Matisse.
Jenny Mac, O'Brien, or Apple.
Cal moves into line. Henri Matisse to the outside stall. Steps forward it in.
No.
They're all in line.
You're going to do that in New York.
Oh, the one. Oh, the 12. No.
No.
Yeah, cancel.
Delay here.
Running for first money only will be the 12.
Well, Appleby did lose / win this race
Behind the gate.
that way once before.
Yeah. Maybe it's
Last time they were at Del Mar, actually.
maybe it's fate, karma. Who knows what's going on?
They may make this horse go through a full-on X-ray.
They got him.
He looks fine.
Well, start. That's a 5-yard penalty. Replay the gate break.
I got them on the cadence to go off sides.
Charles B. Chuck not happy. There goes my horse.
I just narrowed, I guess. I'm just playing an 11-4 cold now. I'm like, all right. Like, I just got to leave it. I cancel my bets. I just re-put them in and just played 11-4. That's in that daily double. What is the race tomorrow that it's playing into?
The Breeders' Cup Turf.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Breeders' Cup Turf. Yeah, sorry. The last one was classic.
Yomori City is back behind the starting gate now.
No.
All right, close it up.
And he's about to move back into line.
13 of them.
Once again, they're all in line. Ready for the start. They're off in the Juvenile Turf, and there goes Zulu Kingdom right out for the early lead. And then it's in second. Menti goes up on the outside. And then it's Saratoga Carnival and Iron Man Cal. And right behind them is Seagulls 11 as they make their way into that turn. Noble Confessor saves ground inside of El Kudra. New Century 3 wide into that turn. And then the Waco Kid. And last of them all is Aomori City, who is 10 lengths behind the front runner. And that runner is Dream On, who went 22.65 for the opening quarter mile and leads up the backstretch by 3/4 of a length. Menti on the outside of a hard-held Zulu Kingdom, second and third Saratoga Carnival, fourth down toward the inside. Outside of them, Seagulls 11, then Iron Man Cal, New Century, Double
One with a great trip.
Side and El Kudra. Henri Matisse is 9 lengths behind, then the Waco Kid at Aomori City, 46.31 was the half mile, racing for the far turn. Dream On is the leader here. On top a length and a half, Seagulls 11 has moved up on the outside. Zulu Kingdom is in behind horses. That's all for Menti. Saratoga Carnival is next. And then comes Iron Man Cal and New Century. And they're into the stretch. And Dream On is the one to catch. Dream On, another furlong to run. Zulu Kingdom, Iron Man Cal.
God, they're flying on the outside. Get up, New Century. Get up. Oh, that's the 13. Oh.
13.
Oh.
Iron Man Cal was second, by the way. Another case where the race
The Euros. Aidan O'Brien.
Yep.
His 7th victory.
Line on the outside.
Henri Matisse for he and Ryan Moore. Sensational down the stretch.
That's the Scotty long shot.
He's bouncing back from a disappointing run.
As a favorite.
Time out. Aidan said earlier in the week, I made a mistake by putting headgear on him when he ran at Longchamp. I've decided that he doesn't need it. We'll go back to basics with him. And he's produced a telling turn of foot in a race run at a great pace that allowed the closers. One or two hard luck stories in behind. James Doyle nearly actually came off Al Qudra in the closing stages where he got shut in between Seagull's 11 and another horse. But real drama in our closing race.
Can we talk about Ironman Cal?
Wow, that's a Scotty Longshot, big race.
And how
Ironman
about
Cal.
your
Ooh.
6-horse there, Justin? Ironman Cal. I mean,
Oh, did Iron Man Cal end up? I heard them say right there at the end. Did it run second?
yeah,
Or
it's
third?
just
About
that.
that horse.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
I mean that race we talked about at the beginning. I was like, this race was. It was so hard. Like that
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't surprise me when you see that on the race sim, Odie. That's wild. I mean,
I don't know that
He
Dream On
kept it
needed to
inside.
go 22 and
Yeah. He kept a good inside trip there and just kept
Yeah.
rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That horse is not going to be 29-1 out next time. That I can tell you.
that
Yeah,
one
Mr.
horse is running.
Crazy
backwards.
was riding enough. Yeah, Jose
There's
went
some
very
kinda-
fast.
There's some kind of issue here. Hold on a second.
Yeah, they
Who's
just-
down on the rail?
Somebody
Oh, there's one.
knocked.
Somebody, the 7 came over. That didn't have an effect.
No,
No,
actually,
13 's
I think
there.
it was the 13 came over.
Look at the
12 was flying too. Yeah.
The 12
Yeah.
after breaking through the gate still runs on there and ran just huge.
Yeah.
And I think I heard James Doyle got knocked off the 4, so I can't imagine there isn't going to be an inquiry on.
They have not posted anything yet. They keep going back and looking.
Yeah.
Didn't see anybody come off the horse.
That's what they said, but maybe they meant something different. It's right here.
Oh, no,
then the 7.
the horse
Yeah.
stumbled with the 7. He stayed on though.
Yeah,
He-
it had nothing to do with the.
Let's see.
Oh wait,
No,
inquiry. Fourth and
New
fifth.
Century and Dream On.
Yeah, nothing to worry about there.
How could Dream On be involved? Dream On had a 2-length lead.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I
Dream,
don't
it's
know.
not Dream On. It's New Century. New Century came over on the 7, which then clipped heels with the 4. So I'm not sure why Dream On is inquiry, but
Yeah.
the New Century
Yeah.
came over on the 7 and then hit the 4.
Right. Oh, yeah.
No change in your top 3.
No, another bomb exacta. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Can they keep it on the head?
Well,
of
they're showing the
towers?
head on here.
Well, maybe that's why.
Ooh, he almost
Dream
fell
On.
off. Holy God.
Yeah, it stayed on. That was incredible.
Oh,
I mean, you can see a lot more on this head on. I don't know why
Yeah.
they were showing us the other angle.
he
Yeah.
got squeezed by 2 horses.
Yeah,
He has. He got the stirrup in on the right foot too in the first try.
that's what I wanted them to do, like Victoria, though, instead of just letting the horse out.
Yeah, he was trying to come between horses there. There was no room.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's some athletic
Well,
achievement to stay on that horse, right? Wow.
And
Well,
wait,
that's
no,
credit to the
and-
horse too for keeping it together, man. Not
Yeah.
all of them can do that. Trust me.
Yeah.
All right, that is.
Well, we
right.
another big day tomorrow, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
we do. We
A
have,
bigger day tomorrow. Bigger day.
We got a bunch of races. We got a little bit more filler stuff tomorrow as well. We can look at in between. 41 minutes between all the Breeders' Cup races. 2:25 start tomorrow. Thank you all for joining. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. We will see you all tomorrow.
Okay.
And good luck.
Thank you, guys.
For day 2.
Okay. Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.